I'm about to go get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, go get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it. You know I'm about to get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, go get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it, yeah, get it. Uncle Luke said, I gotta get it, don't stop. I'm gonna get it, don't stop. I gotta get it, don't stop. Don't stop. I gotta get it, don't stop. I'm gonna get it, don't stop. I gotta get it, don't stop. It's so many ways out this bitch to get money. If you ain't talking money, that's the end of discussion. I'm sick of y'all, period. Got these niggas like a period. No nigga, I ain't playing, I am serious. Fuck it, let me put some emphasis on every sentence then. I'm about to kill him, point blank, period. I'm about to kill him, point blank, period. Point blank, period, point blank, period. Point blank, period, point blank, period. I'm about to kill y'all, welcome to the kill zone. Kick a nigga head off the ground like a field goal. Flow so elegant, I'm killing them with predicates. If y'all niggas sicker than me, nigga, I'm the medicine. Ali, I said free, I'm serious like TIP. Try me and I'ma hit you hard enough to shoulder lean. I ain't seeing none of y'all, nigga, I got cataracts. This is a funeral, that's why they wearing all black. Nigga, I am all that, just ask Keenan. If you don't believe me, then fuck it, don't believe me. Nigga, I am concrete, hard like cement. I know it's hard to see me, I'm brighter than a light beat. Money green seaweed, chilling in my TP. Your chick wanna play around, so I call that PE. Outside curricular, gold chain expert. If I found the treasure chest, the gold going around my neck. Nigga, I'm an all-star, I party like a rock star. Leave a nigga lost with this, you better call OnStar. Pull up on a horse, nigga, Ranger, Lone Star. He haul, nigga, your bitch up and down seesaw. She say, he say, I say, fuck y'all. Ball like Mr. Clean, I'm fresh, call me Mr. Clean. Hit the block with some Mr. Clean. Man, I'm talking about circles the size of some donuts from Krispy Kreme. Country nigga, he haul, down south veteran. Put the A and the K to your chest like a letterman. Drop on you like rain and I hit you with that thunder. Blow y'all niggas ass up and blow them away like a bubble. I'm sick of y'all, period. Got these niggas like a period. No nigga, I ain't playing, I am serious. Fuck it, let me put some emphasis on every sentence then. I'm about to kill him, point blank, period. I'm about to kill him, point blank, period. Point blank, period, point blank, period. Point blank, period, point blank, period. Close the door. What's good? What's happening?
You might die. These niggas capping, they living a lie. Make it back. Don't disturb me, I'm working. Don't disturb me, I'm working. Don't disturb me, I'm working. Too turned up, I can't relax. Make it, spend it, make it back. I'm running this shit, I'm looking athletic. Turn up on these niggas, they looking pathetic. Take a seat, stay out the way while I'm working. I wake up and do it, ain't no rehearsal. I'm on the clock, money calling me. I don't gotta chase it, they follow me. Back to the business, I need my percentage. My face is clean everywhere, not a blemish. I'm busy right now, hit you back when I'm done. South to the north, I'll go to the foe. I'm grooving, no rush, then let's get crushed. I know what I'm doing, this ain't no low. I make it and spend it, you fake and pretend it. Really the one ever breaking or bending. Pick up a jet without breaking a sweat. Give me that, I'm on the way to collect.
Make it, spend it, make it back. What up? I got a lot of cash, I got a lot of bags. On flex for the ground, I am who they say I am. Ooh, yeah, on a man, with a grand hustle. I got plenty more. Say what? I ain't got a tussle. No. Let my hitters bust. I got paper, I get pussy, I got power, yeah. Don't work no 9 to 5. We got them 9 to 5. Say what? Cruise down 95. Just spent 95. Damn.
Don't disturb me, I'm working. Don't disturb me, I'm working. Don't disturb me, I'm working. Chase a check, don't break a sweat. Make it, spend it, make it back. Don't disturb me, I'm working. Don't disturb me, I'm working. Don't disturb me, I'm working. Too turned up, I can't relax. Make it, spend it, make it back.
Don't disturb me, I'm working. Salute to my homie King G, featuring Shorty Low Jr. Salute to my homeboy Crucial K. I see you out there, Crucial K. Yeah. Salute. We back. I see Halima in the area. Oh, I got my boy Unity in the area. What's good, Unity? What's good, Morning Mo? I see Tina Brown. I see you back in the area. I see Halima back in the area. I see who else we got steady grinding back in the area. Let's make sure we get a solid mic check real quick. A solid mic check. 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Yes, sir. We are back with the Young Thug breakdown, the YSL. If you didn't catch the first part, when you get to work or something and you got your headphones in, you're looking for something to listen to tomorrow, y'all go check out the first breakdown of the YSL Young Thug. We went 4 hours and every single breakdown was crucial to what's going on. So Earz to the Street's gonna keep his ears on this, and we gonna break down this whole trial. We got about 90 days. We got about 3 months of this, y'all. So if y'all enjoyed the content, man, there's a lot more to come. We're gonna be breaking this thing down every bits and pieces. We also gonna get into the P Diddy stuff, but you know, all of that's gonna take a lot of time. So I hope y'all here for the long run, cause Earz to the Street here for the long run. Right now we are doing a donation, man. If you want to donate to Earz to the Street, to the new screen drive that I am trying to purchase. Let me make sure the screen deck that I'm trying to purchase. This is it right here. Earz to the Street trying to get this new screen deck to better and further the gang. Well, the gang of just, you know, of just making better content, bringing it to you. Like I said, I've spent over probably $1,000 in the $2,000 in the last couple of days upgrading, trying to bring y'all better content. So y'all know I wouldn't ask y'all for nothing, but we are taking all donations. I appreciate it, whether it's through Cash App or Super Chat. We prefer Cash App because that means YouTube don't have to get their 35%, but we'll take it any way you are willing to donate. So if y'all enjoying the content and you know I'm upgrading every chance I get, this is going to be my next upgrade right here. So if you want to show any love, show it through the Cash App, show it through the Super Chat. The Cash App is right here or right there, wherever it is. I don't know what way I'm pointing, but y'all see the Cash App. Y'all see the Cash App. So let's get to this Young Thug trial, man. How y'all feeling tonight? I hope everybody is in good spirits. I had to get me a little, you know, stretch out my knees, put a little something on my stomach. You know, I done rolled up. I got my cup ready. I got my drink right here. I went on ahead and went over what we going through next. So we ready to get to it, man. We got any questions before I get started? Salute the chocolate candy lady. Oh yeah, y'all, and one more thing, man, before I get started, I'm a little excited. I know y'all notice I'm a little excited. My Bucks, they looking all right today. Yeah. My Bucks looking all right today. The Saints lost. Atlanta won, but that's cool. We cool with Atlanta winning, you know. Long as we finish out this game, and my pool ticket is undefeated, and I hope I'm not stepping on it by saying that. But my pool ticket is undefeated so far. I need the Philadelphia to win. I need Los Angeles to win, and I need the Bucks to win and the Chargers to win. So hopefully we can finish off that with some wins, because if I win, everybody wins, especially if you're a member or a mod. Salute to them Colts, man. Them Colts pulled through too for me. Them Colts pulled through, because if I would have lost that game, that would have messed up a lot of my tickets. So salute to the Colts for pulling that off. But anyway, let's get on to the content, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button on y'all way in. Let's get to part 2 of this trial. So where we left off at, y'all, we was on day 1. We went over the opening statements. The prosecution, she came out with her opening statements. She came out and pretty much said that she's gonna prove, and she's got evidence that Young Thug was the guy that everybody was doing everything to impress, pretty much. We spoke about the young man that was 15 years old at the time. Him and another young man set up a 20-year-old guy, making him think that he was coming to meet up with an old lady. They shot up the car, ended up shooting the guy in the back of the head one time, and then he went on the Instagram saying that YSL make moves, so they feel like that's an overt activity of the game. We also heard about what else was said on the first day. We seen how much the courtroom was total chaos, because we had this prosecution trying to bring in a slideshow where she only showed four slides to the prosecutions. Then she came back and tried to slide in 40 more damn slides. None of them, some of them wasn't true. She ended up accusing one guy of gunning down the guy that didn't gun down the guy. She also tried to put in the lawyer of Young Thug's name, saying that he represented 2 of the co-defendants at one point in time, where he only represented them in an appeal case. He's called for a mistrial. They've also had situations all before the trial even started with a whole bunch of contraband, people trying to bring in weed, cigarettes. Somebody tried to give Young Thug some dope in the middle of the court. It's been a total chaos. If y'all was here earlier today, y'all would have seen how much chaos was going on before this trial even started. So the chaos continues on, y'all. The chaos continues on. So day 2, like I said, first day, the proceedings got delayed because of all the bullshit. Got delayed about 4 hours. So the second day, it was pretty much kind of some of the same, because you still got 6 defendants that got to have an opening statement from each individual lawyer. So we're still listening to the open statements. We listened to the opening statement of the prosecutor. We listened to the open statement of one of the individuals that is accused of being one of the shooters of Donovan Thomas, aka Nut. He was the lead gang leader of Young Thug's rival gang. So, and that's what sparked off this whole RICO trial, when that guy got killed. Now remember, YSL Wooded, the guy that I did a live on a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago and showed all the snitching he was doing. He was one of the guys that was in the car that ended up killing Woody. Also, the other guy that we went over, that he took 15 years of probation and he pleaded out for 1 year and 15 years of probation. He's supposed to come and testify, but he's not testifying this week. It might be next week or a week after that, something like that. So we went over, those are two of the guys that were in the car of the shooting of that guy. And one of the guys, he didn't take a plea. That's Mr. Stillwell. He's still in the court. Now, the last person we saw was his lawyer breaking down that his co-defendants got off. They gave them plea deals. They let them get away, pretty much go home, knowing that they committed this murder, but they got this guy still in there. So maybe he was the shooter and the other guy was the driver and the other guy was in the passenger seat, and maybe they're going to come and testify that he was the shooter. So we ain't going to get too ahead of ourselves. We'll see what happens when it happens. But that's pretty much what happened in day one. The prosecutor, she explained all the ways that she going to try to connect all of these guys. Also, you had a young guy that was that shot a police officer in the head and shot him 5 times in the body, and he robbed a woman in front of her child. That guy, he's already prosecuted. But they're saying all of these people are doing this stuff in furtherance of the gang YSL. So that's where we at right now at it, y'all. So now we're going to hear the rest of the opening statement, but this is day 2, and then we're going to get into day 3, and then we're going to get into day 4. That way we'll be fully caught up, and this week I can come bring y'all, you know, what's going on. Maybe 2 days at a time. I might do some every day, but I want to go ahead and get into this Diddy thing also. So we're probably going to do YSL one day and skip to Diddy and, you know, try to catch up on this Diddy stuff. I'm just trying to let enough stuff come out because I'm tired of new stuff coming out every single damn day. I don't want to get caught behind the 8 ball reporting something, then something new come out, and then we spend every single day talking about Diddy, which we could do that, but, you know, we just gonna try to cover it the same way we covering this YSL trial. So let's get into it. Day 2. Everybody ready? Salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. Mom boss salute. So I got my cup. So y'all know I'm gonna be tripping out on these motherfuckers, cause they been full of some shit, man. So as we been seeing, this prosecutor, boy, she been on some bullshit. She been trying to pull every damn trick in the book. She been trying to pull every trick in the book. But let's go. Let's go. Y'all make sure to hit that like button as y'all come in. If you're a content creator. Is my mic low? Y'all let me know right now. Is my mic low? Because I got my mic turned up, and if I turn it up too much, y'all gonna say I'm turned up too damn much. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. How am I sounding, y'all, before I get started in my full commentary? A couple of people had to reset they live last time because every now and then it was, I don't know, they were saying that my mic sounded low. So my mic just fine, cool. Okay, just reset your screen, mom boss. Cool. Let's go. Let's get into this. Version 2, day 2, y'all, day 2. So shout out to Cuff Boys, because I'm using him as a resource. He does a good job of pretty much editing out all the chatter. Maybe I need to start doing this while I'm at work, just recording it while I'm at work, then come home and edit it out, and you know, so I can just play it straight off of there and I ain't got to play it off of nobody's shit. But I don't think he's gonna bother with me as far as no copyright strike or anything. I did try to ask permission.
The Young Thug YSL RICO trial had opening statements today from 4 defense lawyers, one of them being Brian Steele, who represents Thug. He does a pretty good job at separating Thug from YSL and making him look like a human being. He points out a lot of flaws in the overt acts that Thug is accused of. Alright boys, so today we got a lot of information from how Brian Steele is going to approach this case. I think he did pretty good, but Thug, saw a few people point out that he got a little bit of a gut going. Pretty sure his lawyer blamed that on just the food he was eating inside.
Oh, that's just jailhouse food. Anybody go to jail and your ass been sitting there for a couple of years? But maybe when Young Thug go, you know, if he had to do any time, he might come back out like Gucci Man. shit. You know, they always in the county, boy. You ain't got no. I ain't gonna say you ain't got no choice, cause you could work out, but I don't know why that man ain't working out. He ain't got nothing but time.
The jail was like all candy. So now we got Brian Steele, Young Thug's lawyer, right here, opening statements. Let's go, boys.
Jeffrey will.
So, all right, we heard the opening statement from the prosecutor. As I say, we heard an opening statement from the Stillwell guy, the guy that was one of the shooters. This is Young Thug's lawyer. Now, he's going to give us, just like all the other people, they're going to give us the whole timeline about how somebody grew up. We about to learn about how Young Thug had to wear his sister's clothes, how Young Thug had rotten teeth, how he got it out the mud. But y'all going to see the brilliance in this guy. This is Young Thug's lawyer. This is the highest, this is the best lawyer in Atlanta. I think that's the same lawyer that represented Gucci Mane in his murder trial and got Gucci Mane off. I want to say he represented Bootsy. No, he wasn't. That was YNW Melly lawyer that represented Bootsy. But he's represented some high profile cases. I have to go back and see. But I know for sure he represented Gucci Mane. So this dude, this is top of the line attorney in right here that y'all about to witness.
Williams was born into an environment, a community, a society that was filled with depression, despair, hopelessness, and helplessness. In the Jonesboro South housing projects, that's here in southeast Atlanta. It's a very small 3-bedroom apartment. He lived with his 4 brothers in one of the small bedrooms. His 6 sisters lived in the other small bedroom, and his mother.
Now, that's some fucked up living. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. This man lived with his 4 brothers and 6 sisters. Did he say 4 brothers and 6 sisters? Hold on.
With his 4 brothers in one of the small bedrooms, his 6 sisters.
Yeah, 4 brothers and 6 sisters? Damn. It's 11 people in a 3-bedroom house, y'all. Now, if that ain't coming from nothing, boy, I bet it was some roaches and all kind of shit in that house. 4 niggas sleeping in one room and 6 girls sleeping in another room.
Lived in the other small bedroom, and his mother lived in her small bedroom.
Bro had fucking like 10 siblings or something. That's wild. I'm put a hat on. Fuck it, my hair's on.
Somebody sleeping in the dining room. 2 people sleeping on the floor, and somebody sleeping. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of sleeping on the floor in this motherfucker. A whole bunch of sleeping in the couches all over. It's like a slumber party every fucking night there.
Messy, dude. Callfoys.com for these hats, but let's get it.
Because there was not that much money to go around to pay for utilities. The refrigerator and the cabinets hardly ever had any healthy food, and sometimes no food at all. And although the clothing was oftentimes dirty, at least it gave the appearance that he can have a different look.
So what he's doing right now is painting a picture of how...
I know I grew up with I grew up with 3 other brothers, so it's 4 of us all together, and my 2 cousins. And sometimes we'll have 2 more cousins
the Google IT
outside
support
of that.
certificate.
And when I grew up in foster homes, it usually be about 5 or 6 of us there. Shit, so I can only imagine being 10 motherfuckers in a small ass room, small ass house. But we all grew up kind of like that. You know what I'm saying? Back in the days, that wasn't abnormal.
Poverty stricken. He's making him look like a human, not like a big mob boss like the prosecutor was yesterday.
In this environment of severe poverty, severe crime, Jeffrey developed 2 deep, embedded beliefs. The first one is...
So what he has to do is he has to make Young Thug look like, okay, this is the reason why this man moves the way he do. He comes from the bottom. He comes from, he comes from nothing. How he's going to explain this. Now, listen to his background on his growing up.
Is that it is not justice. Our criminal justice system was not just, at least for the people that he saw. Jeffrey would see over and over again people in the neighborhood who were known to be, these are the people that would lie to their kids, lie to their mothers.
Hey, this next sentence he about to say, tell me where he got this shit from. Tell me where he got this shit from. If y'all watched the last episode, he's about to recite what Young Thug wrote on his Instagram post. But he's going to say it like a white man.
People in the neighborhood who were known to be, these are the people that would lie to their kids, lie to their mothers, lie to their brothers and sisters, and then somehow those people would be used by prosecutors, allowed to come before judges, and they would have reduced charges, reduced prison sentences, reduced probationary sentences, no charges at all, on their oath that they come in the courtroom to tell the God's honest truth.
Your Honor.
Y'all see how they had to object? They were like, nigga, you reading the post. That Young Thug said. This is Young Thug in the suit, y'all. Salute, hey, yo, Splitter. Salute, El Hombre Negro. Musa Bronze, what's good? Yeah, man, we got bells and whistles, man. You got to hit the hit the cash app, man. You'll see the bells and whistles.
You have an objection, ma'am?
I have an objection.
What's your basis?
Your Honor, I'd rather approach and not speak.
So when he asked what her objective is, he said, what's your objective? She want to come up there and tell the objective in secret. What's she going to say? This nigga here reading what's on the damn Instagram post.
Get out loud in front of the jury.
I wonder what she's objecting to here. No, his ass probably a little nervous.
They would come into the courtroom, take
Who the fuck is twisting goddamn Young Thug hair like this? This nigga hair look better than mine, and I'm out here on the free world with a woman.
I wonder what
twisting
she's
my
objecting
hair.
to here. No.
I look at this nigga shit freshly twisted every motherfucking day and night. Freshly braided, freshly twisted.
His ass probably a little nervous.
They would come into the courtroom, take a witness stand. Jeffrey thinks that the entire justice system is corrupt and should be blown up.
Jeffrey thinks the entire justice system sucks. Like we all do.
Damn.
And everybody who feeds into that are awful people, stealing lives away from others. It's different experiences in different parts of America. It's different experiences in different parts of Atlanta. Jeffrey would be driving with his sister, and Dora and Jeffrey would be driven. Get pizza by their dad. And constantly, the car would be stopped for a window tint violation, a failure to maintain a lane, a failure to use a turn signal, illegal left turn. His father would be handcuffed and sat on the curb. Jeffrey and Dora on the other side of the curb. The police rummaging through the car, saying, if we find anything, these kids are going to defects custody.
So he's saying that pretty much Young Thug's life growing up, his daddy was always harassed by the same, system that he grew up in. Which his daddy probably was on, a thug too, you know what I'm saying, doing this thing, doing this street thing. So when the police familiar with you, hell yeah, they gonna pull you over for every little thing. If they know you in the hood doing all kind of wild shit, I'm just saying.
Jeffrey's older brother, they called him Beanie. He was 20 years of age, 11 years older than Jeffrey. He collapses outside, not far from Jeffrey's apartment. The neighborhood comes out. Jeffrey and his family come out. They're praying over Beanie. It's going to be okay. There's help on the way. 911 was called. And what seemed forever, when the police finally did arrive, they didn't go immediately to Beanie. They had to push back the crowd. Jeffrey's mother was hysterical. She was screaming for her child to survive. The police handcuffed Jeffrey's mother, put her on the ground. And when they finally went to Beanie, put a sheet over his face. Beanie was dead to the police, even though his chest was still going up and down. He still breathed.
So he pretty much just played on the hearts of the jury, y'all. He just played on the hearts of the jury like a motherfucker. So pretty much, when Young Thug was 11 years old, he had a brother that was 20 years old. And his 20-year-old brother had something happen to him. Maybe he had a heart attack, or, he pretty much had a hard time breathing, and he collapsed. They called the ambulance, and it took them forever, like they would when it's time to come to the hood. Took them forever, and then even when they got there, they treated the people like they were criminals instead of tending to a man in a critical situation. And when they come out there, they just put the sheet over and say, oh yeah, he dead. We see the man breathing. We say, man, go help him. And you put my mama in the handcuffs instead of helping the man that's down. So he's trying to tell them why this man doesn't trust the police. These folks been trying to get him for his whole life. He felt like they let his brother die. That's the picture that this high-powered lawyer is making sure he paint first.
Maintain a lane, failure to use a turn signal, illegal left turn. His father would be handcuffed and sat on the curb. Jeffrey and Dora on the other side of the curb. The police rummaging through the car, saying, if we find anything, these kids are going to defects custody. Jeffrey's older brother, they called him Beanie. He was 20 years of age, 11 years older than Jeffrey. He collapses outside, not far from Jeffrey's apartment. The neighborhood comes out. Jeffrey and his family come out. They're praying over Beanie. It's going to be okay. There's help on the way. 911 was called. And what seemed forever, when the police finally did arrive, they didn't go immediately to Beanie. They had to push back the crowd. Jeffrey's mother was hysterical. She was screaming for her child to survive. The police handcuffed Jeffrey's mother, put her on the ground. And when they finally went to Beanie, put a sheet over his face, Beanie was dead to the police, even though his chest was still going up and down.
Now that's how you fuck with the head of the jury, especially when you know you got a jury of at least 13 black people. You remind them of the injustice of the police. That's how you get in their head psychologically. That's why I say he has a good chance of beating this, because there's so many black people on the damn stand. And you ain't gonna tell me you a black person, out of 13 black people in Atlanta, somebody knows Jeffrey. Somebody knows Young Thug. If you under 40, you done at least heard of him. So I don't know how in the hell did they find 13 black people, but it is Atlanta. You can never, nobody's ever gonna speak on that much. That is 13 black people in the jury.
So he's showing to the jury his experiences and why he has a dislike for police and the whole system.
Jeffrey believed that the only two ways he can break the generational hopelessness and despair for his family, himself, and he wanted to break it for as many people as he could who are in this struggle, was to be a professional athlete or an accomplished musical artist.
And that's pretty much what all young black males think coming up when you don't have the proper guidance. I didn't have no clue about trades and construction and all of these other ways, producers and all these other ways that you could become a millionaire outside of being an athlete and a entertainer. When you're growing up in the ghetto and you don't have a lot of hope, sometimes that becomes the hope. I got to make the next rap song. I got to make the next, I got to be able to, you know, be the next MJ. Who else you see making money? The dope boys. So a lot of times that's the route we end up going.
You got the body to be a wide receiver. You know, the tall, lanky.
Of rap. That was the most popular music. So Jeffrey sought to find out how can he accomplish his mission. And Jeffrey studied two rap artists particularly. He idolized Dwayne Carter. His performing name is Lil Wayne. Jeffrey also idolized Tupac.
So he idolized Lil Wayne, but soon as he found out his idol felt like he was weird, he still, I ain't gonna say he had the bus shot up. He probably didn't know them niggas was gonna do some shit like that, but he probably thought it was funny. He probably like, yeah, fuck that bitch ass nigga, let him know. But I don't think that he ordered some shit like that. I don't think he ordered no shit like that. But he idolized Lil Wayne and then turned around and stole his whole style, it seemed like.
You hear witness after witness that Jeffrey sounded just like Lil Wayne. He took what Lil Wayne did and Jeffrey wore tight fitting pants. He's the first. He realized in order to become successful, he had to capture people's experiences and make it interesting, both musically and creating a brand. His advertising was called Little Jeff. His father, Young Thug, and from that day forward, he insisted everybody call him Young Thug on every type of tweet. Because most people think about a thug as a criminal.
Now watch how he cleans up this whole perspective of a thug. You ain't gonna never see somebody clean up the perspective of a thug like he about to do right now.
But to Jeffrey, thug had a different meaning. Now some of you read books about Tupac and what it meant to be thug life, the hate you give little infants, F's, everyone. Meaning discrimination and racism hurts all of us.
So what he's doing right here is he's trying to show, and the Young Thug YSL RICO trial had opening statements today from 4 defense lawyers.
Ah, damn, y'all. I fucked around and hit the wrong button. Let me try to get
Imagine if the web came with a
get back at the right spot. Dang it. My big finger ass done hit the damn wrong damn key.
They're going to say not guilty, and there's no one's going to budge. It's the same thing with the Melly trial.
Number one, it is a multi-billion-dollar. We didn't even release it. This is on Mr. Darlington.
It's like intense getting it from the group of YSL. The other guy did.
Jeffrey, take me on tour. Hey,
Woody.
house. Shot his name.
Hold on, y'all. Let me get this back right.
In the trunk of the car, tell Jeffrey, Mr. Kitchens, you're free to go. Give Jeffrey.
Hold on, y'all. I skipped up too much. We ain't got to that part yet. Okay, I think we're at right here.
The performance, he's no longer there for 5 to 10 minutes. He is the lead performer.
Okay, so we ain't too far past it right here. So he's telling how Jeffrey came from something to nothing. We was at the part where how he got his name Thug. So this is how he's gonna paint the picture of why he named himself Young Thug. Because we all know the image when you hear the name Young Thug.
His father, Young Thug, and from that day forward, he insisted everybody call him Young Thug. On every type of tweet, because most people think about a thug as a criminal, but to Jeffrey, thug had a different meaning. Now, some of you read books about Tupac and what it meant to be thug life, the hate you give little infants, F's, everyone, meaning discrimination.
Did he study this shit? Hell nah, you the motherfucker, you the only motherfucker I ever heard say that. Did Tupac even say that shit? Or did he just make that shit up on the fly? I mean, I ain't mad at him. That's what a good lawyer do. But shit. You sent me a dub. Cash out. I ain't looked yet, but if you sent me a dub, I appreciate you, man. Much love, man. It's going towards the Screen Deck fund. I appreciate it. I appreciate the dub. Oh yeah, that's definitely crazy.
Racism hurts all of us.
So what he's doing right here is he's trying to show them why he is named Young Thug. It's optics. He's trying to make Thug look as
humble under God. That's what thug means.
Bringing religion into the picture.
The neighborhood realized his talent. He was the best rapper in the neighborhood. He was supposedly the leader of the Bloods in that area.
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all.
And when Jeffrey comes to make the performance, he's no longer there for 5 to 10 minutes. He is the lead performer.
So he done created a new definition for thug, and he used God. Hey, you got to do what you got to do as a lawyer, man. I ain't lying. I appreciate the love, man. I appreciate the love. I ain't looking at my phone right now. I ain't looking at the Cash App. I'll check it out later, and I'll be sending hearts back. But I appreciate the love, man. Y'all already know what time it is.
The rock crew, the Bloods, the whole neighborhood, they would put up signs on the post, come out tomorrow night. Watch our own Young Thug perform at this establishment.
So now he's making Thug look like a member of the neighborhood when they were trying to make him look like he fucking put a hole of death in Atlanta. Two different sides of how you can look at it.
The people who own these establishments are making money. By 2011, Jeffrey released his first album.
So 2011, that's when that man released his first album. So you got to think about when the first charge that he was actually charged with and what really pushed them to start fucking with him with the RICO shit, which was in 2015 when this guy Nut was killed. So when was you'll have to look and see when was Thug's first hit really, which I think that was around like 2013, 2014. So when they're going back to something he did when he first got his hand on that money, he was straight out of the streets, and he still had his hands in the streets deeply.
Entitled, I Came From Nothing. He is making music videos professionally. He is working with some of the biggest artists in hip-hop. It worked. It's unbelievable. He is not running this criminal street gang, Cleveland Avenue area of Cleveland, to gain property, money, or power. Jeffrey Williams did it on will and hard work without anybody's help, except the people from that area that he will not turn his back on. Has been nominated and won and recognized.
All right, so he pretty much about to run down all the shit he done did. We already know all the shit he done did. We ain't gonna waste our time listening to that part or whatever. We know that he been popular music. He been on the Jimmy Fallon show. You know, he done performed in front of 300,000 people. He got 1 million followers. His label is really Young Successful Life, but they're trying to say it's Young Slime Life. He doesn't have any felonies. You know what I mean? He's been charged with stuff. So I just pretty much summed up everything that he was about to say. Let's continue.
Most of the people in this indictment, they all know him because everybody in that area knows Jeffrey Williams is a RICO conspiracy. And the supposed objective that the prosecution charged is that Jeffrey, along with others, had a meeting in mind. They had an agreement. They have an agenda together. They wanted to preserve and protect and enhance the reputation, the power, the territory. Jeffrey hasn't lived in the Cleveland Avenue area in a decade.
In a decade. If he ain't lived in that area in a decade, that's one point he trying to prove.
More. He has homes from Los Angeles to Atlanta.
Separating him more from the area now to show that he, you know, he's made it out. Gas station corner.
On robbing someone of a car. We're doing a $30 deal. But there are 191 overt acts. And those are separate instances that the prosecution said they're going to prove. Most of them don't include Jeffrey. Jeffrey has never been convicted of a crime. He stands before you. He's not a convicted felon. He can vote. He can carry a gun. He can be on a jury. And he's driving in a car. He gets stopped, of course, for failure to maintain a lane. The police officer comes up to the car, and Jeffrey doesn't have a license.
Now, this is the part that doesn't make sense, Jeffrey. Because at this time, you are Jeffrey. You are Young Thug. Why would you be driving around with anything in your car, just driving around being you and not having no license on you? But, I mean, yeah, you could have left it at the house, shit like that. But goddamn, bro. Got to be more careful.
Doesn't have a valid driver's license. Now he's under arrest.
Oh, he doesn't have a valid driver's license. So it's not that he left the license at home. How the fuck are you driving around in all kind of exotic cars and you ain't got no damn driver's license? See, it don't matter how much money you give niggas, they'll still do nigga shit. God damn, boy.
Police officer says he sees pills. Xanax pills, 7 of them.
This is about my video. I'll put an annotation of the police officer that his police report was a little iffy. I'm not going to go into detail because this is going to be a long video, but...
Police officer searches the car, and underneath the front passenger seat, there's no passenger. There's a gun.
And we're going to get into that police officer, y'all. Trust me, we're going over these witnesses.
That weapon comes back stolen. There's no evidence that Jeffrey's involved in that burglary of the Phillips home. There's no evidence Jeffrey...
Salute, Lovelace. Make sure you hit the like button, Lovelace. Salute to the 43 in the area, man. Y'all make sure to hit the like button. Hit the like button as you come in, man. It's very free. We are not doing any drama tonight, so if you came in, you came in to enjoy the content, man. So hit the like button. If you want to, go check out the merchandise store whenever you get a chance to. Right now, we are doing a fundraiser for the Screen Deck product. I already showed it earlier. Every donation is appreciated through Cash App preferably, but we'll take it through YouTube, Super Chats, whatever kind of way, PayPal. We ain't too proud to beg, but salute to the chat.
Ever touched that gun? You're not going to hear any type of DNA, fingerprints. That Jeffrey says, that's not my gun. Police officer wants to know whose gun is it? Jeffrey's not talking to police. But 10 years ago now, it's an overt act for you to consider.
So
he's pretty much trying to say, when you got pulled over, when this man got pulled over, he's not in his car, and there's a gun that's under the passenger seat, and he's telling the police, that ain't my gun. The police said, who gun is that? I don't know. I ain't gonna talk no more. That's pretty much the situation that he got caught up in 10 years ago. Now it's coming back in the mix of this RICO trial. They're trying to use that situation right now to kind of prove his position in, I guess, this RICO racketeering act. I guess they're trying to say he a car thief too.
Overt act in this case, but it got dismissed 10 years ago. Pretty crazy, kind of, if you think about it.
This is 2 days later.
Yeah, and to remind everybody, we're still at the opening statements, y'all. We're not into testimony. Do not take anything that these people are saying, whether it's defense or the prosecution. Do not take it into consideration that it's final. It's evidence. It's not evidence. Make sure y'all clear that. Until we start looking at real testimonies and real witnesses, that's when things will count. They're just doing arguments, opening arguments.
September 11th, an infamous day in America. It's 2013. Jeffrey was arrested, if you remember, from the last overt act. September 9th, 2013, he made bond, he just got out. Walter Murphy, he grew up with Jeffrey. Walter Murphy is with a person named Adrian Bean and Fred Plethora. And there's an armed robbery. Gunfire went out. Police are always in this area. So when the gunfire was heard, police respond immediately. Adrian Bean is driving the car. This is a car that he borrowed from a friend. It has nothing to do with Jeff. He commits a crime in someone else's car. Adrian Bean almost kills a police officer, almost runs him over, driving so recklessly, high rate speed, goes across a neighbor's lawn, over an embankment. The car is now airborne. It goes over, you'll see pictures, goes over a parked police car, slams into the side of a laundromat.
Now, this is a crazy ass situation that he's describing. He's saying that these three fools robbed somebody, started running from the police, then pretty much did some Grand Theft Auto shit. And of course they're trying to...
Thug was apparently seen in this car and like ran away. I think it's...
And they're saying that Thug was in the car and he was the only one that got away.
Lawyer's gonna try to shit on the witness that says they saw Thug there.
Mr. Bean runs away. Mr. Bean, you will learn, is total. We believe there was a fourth person in that car. If you make that Young Thug, we'll go lenient on him. He's in the Fulton County Jail talking with his wife. He said, I should have ran the way Thug ran. He got away. That's recorded. Mr. Bean is interviewed 4 days later, September 17, 2013, by Detective Quinn, Police Department. Detective Quinn is a big case because police officers are discharging their weapon. Major Bean tells him, they talk about this recording. Everything on those recordings are not true. Yes, he was never arrested. He was never charged.
So pretty much somebody else got arrested and then they got pressed by the police and they tried to tell on Young Thug. Again, everybody been trying to tell on this nigga.
For this, he was never prosecuted for this. He's not even in our indictment on overt act 5, 6, or 7. But now, we're going to hear from Mr. Bean. Somehow that furthered this conspiracy.
Pretty crazy if you think about it. Like he was just present in the vehicle and ran.
God forbid, Donovan Thomas, he's going to be killed 3 days later. It's going to be January 10th of 2015. And in order to understand this rental car, and there's nothing clearly wrong with renting a car, but in order to understand this rental car, and then 3 days later the killing of Donovan Thomas, you have to understand some background. And there's a man named Kenneth Copeland.
The snitch, by the way, I'm pretty sure.
Kenneth Copeland. Y'all remember Kenneth Copeland? That's Woody. That's the dude we did the live on not too long ago. The motherfucker that was snitching soon as he came in. He can't stay his ass out of jail, but he stays snitching. Goddamn YSL Woody.
Not friends with Jeffrey Williams. He uses Jeffrey Williams, just like a lot of people. Because Kenneth Copeland wants to be famous and have the money. Well, Kenneth Copeland is a criminal. He is a notorious criminal. In fact, you will learn, one of the 10 most violent people in Georgia. And he takes his expensive chain, Donovan Thomas's wallet, his driver's license, and Donovan Thomas's cellular telephone. Donovan Thomas calls his cellular telephone. Kenneth Copeland answers the call on Donovan Thomas's phone. Kenneth Copeland changes his voice, tries to disguise his voice. But Donovan Thomas knows it's...
So what ended up happening is Woody, YSL Woody, started all this shit. He robbed Nut. He robbed him, took his money, took his phone, all that stuff. See, and he robbed him knowing that he's supposed to be part of the YSL gang. Now Woody, I mean not Woody, but Nut was part of this other gang. I don't want to be saying the gang's name because I don't want to get these folks confused or whatever. This is pretty much what they're explaining. I'm just explaining it just as a middleman. But YSL Woody, he robbed Nut, took his chain, took his money, took his cell phone. So a little later on down the line, Donovan Thomas, aka Nut, calls his cell phone. And this dumbass nigga answers the damn phone. You ever had a nigga steal your phone, then you call your phone, and the dumbass nigga that got there stole your phone, answer that bitch? You wanna, man, stop. I had a nigga do that, but that's a story for another day. You ever had a motherfucker steal your phone and answer your shit? Man, you got like fucked up.
Thomas, he's going to be killed 3 days later. It's going to be January 10th of 2015. And in order to understand this rental car, and there's nothing clearly wrong with renting a car, but in order to understand this rental car, and then 3 days later the killing of Donovan Thomas, you have to understand some background. And there's a man named Kenneth Copeland.
The snitch, by the way, I'm pretty sure.
He's not friends with Jeffrey Williams. He uses Jeffrey Williams, just like a lot of people. Because Kenneth Copeland wants to be famous and have money. Well, Kenneth Copeland is a criminal. He is a notorious criminal. In fact, you will learn, one of the 10 most violent people in Georgia. And he takes his expensive chain, Donovan Thomas.
Took that nigga chain, took that nigga wallet, robbed the hell out that man. And he brought all that smoke back to the game. Then
His wallet, his driver's license, and Donovan Thomas's cellular telephone. Donovan Thomas calls his cellular telephone. Kenneth Copeland answers the call on Donovan Thomas's phone. Kenneth Copeland changed his voice, tried to disguise his voice. But Donovan Thomas knows it's Kenneth Copeland. Donovan Thomas has people on the street. And he tells Kenneth Copeland, you have my cell. I'm coming to get it back. And Kenneth Copeland says, yeah, I'm glad you called me because one of my partners had your stuff. I realized it was yours, so I got it for you for safekeeping. When Donovan Thomas comes, he makes it known that Kenneth Copeland is on the menu. Meaning Kenneth Copeland is going to be first.
so when the nigga answered the phone, he tried to say, hey, nah, one of my homeboys robbed you, my nigga. I got the shit back from him. But them niggas are trying to finesse the hell out you.
He just stole Donovan Thomas's property. It is now January 6th. It's really January 5th. It's a Monday night going into Tuesday morning, January 6th of 2010. It's going to be the day before this first rental car. And Kenneth Copeland is with a lot of people. Jeffrey was performing on stage.
Now, this is another situation. Now remember, he just robbed a nigga from the other gang. This is what we're going to learn a little bit later when they tell you about the so-called gang that Nut was a leader of. The main nigga that's going to be snitching in this trial, he was the nigga that started this from the beginning, because if y'all seen anything as far as any pre-play of this whole Young Thug thing, this guy Nut, Young Thug was actually cool with him. They were on video together. They probably gonna show that later on. They were cool. They had an alliance. But then when you have one of your main soldiers rob me, now you might have a problem in between the gang. So now you done caught this nigga out at a Young Thug party, and here's what happened.
The Club Crucial. Monday night was Club Crucial night. That's where they all went. And Kenneth Copeland goes in the back, in the kitchen area, and he's met there. Who's a half-brother of Donovan Thomas, and other people who are affiliated with Donovan Thomas, and Kenneth Copeland.
Now, what happened is, he was at a Young Thug show, and he got caught lacking. And I'm talking about bad. He pretty much ran into Donovan Thomas' brother and some of his homeboys, and they beat the brakes off that nigga in the kitchen. That nigga was trying to get something to eat and got something to beat. So they had that nigga fucked up. Yeah, he got fucked up.
He has bumps on his head, his eye is injured, he's being kicked. Kenneth Copeland's mad. And you'll learn that Kenneth Copeland, he went to every place that he knew.
See, what this lawyer is trying to do, he's trying to paint a picture that Kenneth Copeland had his own motivation to kill Nut, aka, or Donovan Thomas, aka Nut. This guy that they're accusing that Young Thug got something to do with it. The picture he's trying to paint is, no, Kenneth Copeland had his own problem with this nigga, and he went and killed this nigga because he had a problem with it. Thug couldn't have told him to do no different because he already done got violated. But it's because he went and started some shit from the beginning. But he was already feeling some type of way anyway because Thug getting this type of money, and he thought he was going to put him on. But nah, so what he did is just start a war. Put him in a Dulo twist, as y'all done learned. That's pretty much what ended up going on right here. And he probably did it as a fed. The nigga been a fed the whole goddamn time.
If Donovan Thomas or one of his brothers or friends or family members, and he would shoot at them with his weapon. On the 7th day of January 2015, Kenneth Copeland told Jeffrey, I'm going to be with my child, just born, the mother of my child, her name is Miss Courtney, and I don't want to be driving around in the typical car I drive around in. Dodge.
A business account could help boost your TikTok content. Here's how.
Now, you're going to also find out that that dude, Woody, he got to be one of the luckiest niggas in the world. Because I don't know if they're going to tell the story on here, but I'm going to tell the part of it that I've already heard, and I don't know if it's going to come up. But that guy, Woody, that snitch that they're talking about, which is the one that has all the motivation to kill Nut, in between of them trying to kill him and him trying to kill them, they had a shootout with this dude where he was coming outside with his baby mama, and he had a shootout with some dudes where he shot and the bullet ended up getting stuck in the barrel of one of those guys' AK. But they almost killed that man with his kids. What's good, so Alicia? They almost killed that man with his kids. So he's a lucky joker. Everywhere he was going, they was trying to kill him, just like that other joker, the Stillwell guy, that ended up getting his 2 loved ones killed because they was trying to kill him. I'm assuming after they killed Nut, they knew exactly who did it. They was trying to take that shit to the streets as much as possible. That shit was getting real. In the battlefield, I ain't lying.
Take someone to a doctor. People want to go. The mother of my child, her name is Miss Courtney. And I don't want to be driving around in the typical car I drive around in. Dodge Charger. Can I use one of your rental cars? Jeffrey does this for everybody. People need to take someone to a doctor. People want to go out of the state. They don't have transportation. He rents cars all the time. Jeffrey says, yeah, there's a rental car here. It's a Corvette. Kenneth Copeland says, that's a 2-seater. My child has a baby seat.
So this is when they were cool. Now, yeah, your homeboy did some crazy shit. People trying to kill him and shit like that. He asked to hold your car, you know what I'm saying, to transfer your baby somewhere. And you say, all right, fuck it, go get one of the cars. Your homeboys or whatever. But shit, he might have not have known that he had something to do with it. But we all know, most likely he knew who the fuck had something to do with it.
That's too small. Jeffrey rents a car at the Atlanta airport.
He switched it to make it look like it was for a baby. That's why they got a bigger car, but they ended up using it to shoot people.
And that's how he got to make it look. Because, I mean, the common sense thing would be that, yeah, that nigga rented a car because he knew that them niggas needed cars to slide. You got to keep your army strong. You can't let these niggas, you know what I'm saying, kill off. Even though this nigga did some wild ass shit by robbing this man and all that, you can't let them kill your best hitters. These niggas were just wilding out.
This rental car's in Jeffrey's name. The rental car location, Kenneth Copeland wants to pick up his brother, and after Jeffrey is dropped off, Jeffrey does not see that Infinity vehicle. His Chevrolet Tahoe is parked. The car drives by. You'll see a video, a surveillance video. You'll see sparks. It's gunfire. Donovan Thomas, the EMT tries to save him. He's taken to Grady Hospital, surgery after surgery, and he leaves. 2 other people were shot as well, but their injuries were not fatal. Later that day, they want to give Jeffrey over $800.
So it was 2 other people who got shot that day. And we'll probably hear, you know, the testimony of some of these people.
He tries to save him. He's taken to Grady Hospital, surgery after surgery, and he leaves. 2 other people were shot as well, but their injuries were not fatal. Later that day, they want to give Jeffrey over $800,000 up front, and the contract's worth millions to produce these records. That's what Jeffrey was working on. He was working on a music video. He tells the police lie after lie after lie after lie. Ken Copeland says Jeffrey Williams was involved in that shooting.
So he's saying, talking about the dude. This is the dude want to keep snitching, trying to snitch on Young Thug. But he done told all these damn lies. God damn. How can you believe a lying ass nigga?
Copeland says, I don't know anything about him, just tell me what happened. Ken Copeland's one of those liars in the neighborhood that everyone knows, that becomes a witness, swears to tell God's honest truth. You will learn that after the shooting of Donovan Thomas, his associates did not take that well. Immediately, word on the street is that Kenneth Copeland, Moody, is responsible.
So he's saying the word on the streets is everybody knew it was YSL Woody and the other nigga, the Stillwell nigga, and that other dude, the nigga that took the plea deal for the 15 years of probation. They knew exactly who did it, and they're saying that they did it in one of the Young Thug's rental cars. Now, did Thug know they was about to do it? That's the question they got to prove. But they do got it on camera where Thug let them niggas get in that car right before they did it.
Kenneth Copeland, now after 10 p.m., it's hours after shooting, he's then at Jeffrey's home, along with a lot of people. They're all scared they're going to be killed. They're all telling, I had nothing to do with it. Jeffrey.
So, after them niggas allegedly killed old boy, they was right there at goddamn Young Thug house. Now, you know he's got to sugarcoat this. He's telling the jury the most sweetened up, sugared down version of why the fucking people that everybody in the city does know that just killed this man. Why them niggas kicking it at your crib right after this man got murdered? How all of a sudden these niggas that ain't never left the fucking city, they down in Miami kicking it and shit after this nigga got murdered? So this is why he telling you. This is what a lawyer has to do. A good lawyer. This is the best of the best, y'all.
You will learn he's friends with Donovan Thomas. Jeffrey puts Donovan Thomas in his music videos. Donovan Thomas invited Jeffrey just recently to come into his neighborhood to shoot a music video with him in it. Kenneth Copeland says, the police are calling Kenneth Copeland. The police are right on him. You will learn, and it's on recording. Kenneth Copeland goes into the police station later that morning, so it's a very early morning hours, January 11th of 2015, and he's with Detective Thorpe. Detective Thorpe is recording this. And Kenneth Copeland says, yeah, I got your call. I was at Jeffrey Williams' house, Thug's house. Do you have anything to do with a rental car, an Infinity rental car? Were you in an accident in an Infinity rental car? And Kenneth Copeland says, no, he's just a liar. Kenneth Copeland tells Detective Thorpe,
come back and watch college football.
So, of course, he's trying to make sure he painted out that YSL Woody, man. How the hell you gonna believe this nigga? He get locked up every week, and every week he trying to snitch on somebody else. This nigga just make up shit. So he's just attacking the credibility of that main snitch.
during the time of the killing, I was at the green store. The green store is like a grocery store. It's green in color. You will learn that there's video surveillance inside and outside of the green store. Kenneth Copeland says, oh yeah, the night of the killing, Donovan Thomas, I wasn't involved.
So he's just trying to show that this Kenneth Copeland guy, this is him right here, Lil Woody. He's trying to make him look like he's a liar. So if he comes up there and, snitches in court, it's gonna make him look bad because he lied a few times in others.
And he was the main lying ass nigga. We seen the videotape of this nigga snitching on video. But he gotta come if they want him to come. Hell, they could just play the video. They don't even need that nigga to come.
You're going to be dying in the state of Georgia custody because we're going to charge you with gang crime after gang crime after gang crime. But you can help yourself out. On Kenneth Copeland's word, Jeffrey Williams stands here. Turn that over that. So Jeffrey Williams rents a car in his own name to use in a homicide of his friend.
He's doing a good job at painting the picture that Thug had like no idea this was keys. Go kill this.
Shortly after the shooting, Jeffrey was performing. Jeffrey wanted them to be safe, not get hurt until people calm down.
So he's trying to make it like the reason that Young Thug flew his homeboys down to Miami out of nowhere is because when that dude got killed, it was a confusion on the street and people think that they had something to do with it. So he just wanted to make sure his friends were safe and got them out of the area for a while. But as you can see, nigga can't keep you out of the area forever.
Jeffrey then sent them back to Atlanta. Jeffrey then went on tour. As you will learn, by March 2015, Jeffrey did his first nationwide tour. He did with a performer known as Travis Scott. And this is charging murder.
But it does look like he paid for something to get done, though. You're right. Hey, I'm staying neutral on this. Hey, I'm letting the court process do their thing, man. But I do think it'll be a mistrial if it keeps going like it is.
And then attempted murder for shooting the second person who was shot that night, and then the third person, Mr. Sanders, who was shot that night. You may notice that the overt act doesn't even include Jeffrey.
There's a Lil Wayne shooting on the bus.
He is performing. He's in Louisiana. Lil Wayne, his idol, Jeffrey idolizes him, came out against Jeffrey, called him gay.
I forgot.
So Lil Wayne called Young Thug gay. So this is the situation that's about to happen. They're gonna talk about how Lil Wayne bus got shot up.
Why they had beef. I remember Lil Wayne did.
Bigger than Jeffrey Williams' effect. So this creates interest in fans. You will learn that this is part of being involved in hip-hop or rap. There's all these battles going across social media. It generates interest, much like the NFL have rivalries with the Saints and the Falcons. Jeffrey is in Louisiana. Here in Atlanta, Lil Wayne has a tour bus, and he performs a concert, and his tour bus was fired. There's zero evidence Jeffrey's involved. Jeffrey's not even named. Now you're going to hear about it, because Jeffrey's the king slime He just controls everybody, even without any evidence to support it. Because that's the theory of the prosecution and the police who have targeted Jeffrey Williams. And he's in the mall and he's buying 50 to 100 sneakers. And he's going back to Cleveland Avenue where the children don't have proper footwear. He's going to give out these sneakers and allow the children to be in the video. And the mall security comes over and tells Jeffrey and his friends, and you'll see video of this, they have to leave the mall. You can't have a Segway inside the mall. But the security officers follow him. They follow Jeffrey and his friends to Jeffrey's Jaguar. And the security won't let Jeffrey leave. Won't let his friends leave. They're standing around the Jaguar. They can't shut the door to the Jaguar. They can't pull out. And they tell Jeffrey, you're waiting here. We're going to get a criminal's trespass warrant. Someone inside the car said, I'm going to go home, get a gun, and come back and shoot you in the face. That's the allegation. The security guards supposedly step back, the car drives away. Nobody's shot. There's no incident. Jeffrey gets arrested on that. DeKalb County prosecutors dismissed that case. It was not even indicted.
So here it is. There's a situation where a guy that was with Young Thug said, I'm going to go back to the house and go get a gun, shoot you in the face because they felt like they were being held up. They might have tried to say they ain't paid for something or no telling what the fuck the situation was. But the situation was dropped. And I think that this lawyer is about to try to make a point that why the hell are they bringing some shit?
I don't know if I agree with how there's cases that are prosecutor efficient. Any good
Well-known.
Please forgive me. Why?
Hold up.
His performing name is Gunner. And he and Jeffrey both are under YSL. That's Jeffrey's record label. They signed Sergio Kitchen for Gunner. There's a third person in that car. His name is Cedric Jones. He gets pulled over for a window tint violation. The officer gets Jeffrey out of the car and Sergio Kitchens out of the car and handcuffs Cedric Jones out of the car. Supposed methamphetamine, supposed hydrocodone, marijuana, and a stolen.
So pretty much he's going over every situation that they're saying that Young Thug had something to do with it. You know what I mean? Now y'all got to remember, we are still in the opening arguments.
Firearm. Jeffrey was on his way to perform at the Jimmy Fallon show. Cedric Jones said, I packed that stuff. Somehow that is now influencing and perpetuating and moving this supposed YSL conspiracy.
He's so good at his job, dude. Brian Steele's snapping, man.
May 18, 2018, Sergio Kitchens is in the front passenger seat. Supposedly Jeffrey is speeding. Supposedly there's another car that's in tandem speeding. Both cars get pulled over by police. Jeffrey and Mr. Kitchens are asked to get out of the car. They're asked if there are guns in the car. They say yes. Please get them out of the car. Any drugs in the car? No. Police have Jeffrey and Mr. Kitchens on the side of the road. They run the guns. The guns are lawful. The police put the guns in the trunk of the car. Tell Jeffrey and Mr. Kitchens, you're free to go. Give Jeffrey a speeding ticket. Jeffrey's driving away. He stops the police. Inquires about what's going to happen with the other gentleman in the other car. Police say, no. You're going to jail. They have in the car weapons, 30-round magazines. It's not in Jeffrey's car. There's going to be zero evidence that Jeffrey put those guns in the car, knew those guns in the car, had anything to do with them. That's your overt act. This is overt act 183, 184, 184.
Now he's going through all these jokers. He want to make sure, like, hell, you're talking about what your overt act is. You're talking about old cases that either got beaten. The man ain't, he's never been convicted of any of these crimes. You're talking about shit that other people did. People that wanted to be around him, wanted to be his friend, all that shit. You talking about a nigga that done snitched on the whole Atlanta. Don't be keep coming with all this bullshit ass evidence. He's trying to sound very confident that all they got is bullshit and trying to target this man because he's a celebrity. And that's why he get paid the big bucks.
185, 186, 187, and 188. And what you'll see here is they're just different items. On March 9th of 2020, by law enforcement. Law enforcement has tremendous military power. Law enforcement takes control of the scene, the area. Jeffrey and more than a dozen people are in the house. You will learn that Jeffrey doesn't live at the house, but other people live there all the time. They take care of the house. You don't leave a house unattended. And in the house, law enforcement finds a small amount of cocaine. I'm talking about a small amount of cocaine. They find codeine, lots of codeine, marijuana.
Small amount of cocaine. Just a small amount of cocaine. Okay, a little bit, a whole bunch of codeine, but a small amount of cocaine. Well, damn. How much codeine did this nigga have in there? That shit crazy. Marijuana.
And firearms. Other people had
a firearm? Or some firearms? Had access to his home and other people lived there.
Access to this home, other people lived at this home. You will have no evidence that Jeffrey ever touched a firearm.
This is going to be one of the harder.
Now depends on if there's any kind of, DNA evidence. So now they're gonna explain the overt acts 183 through 188. So let's see what they're claiming that he got involvement in.
Further this conspiracy to create territory, and property, and money, and respect and reputation. A series of overt acts deal with videos that are released on the internet, photographs on the internet, chats. These are not released on the internet. The chats are personal. That is Jeffrey in the red sweatshirt. That is Mr. Copeland. That's Ken Copeland, Woody, in the white sweatshirt. And they're wearing different colors.
So they're trying to use this as an overt act, y'all. And he's pointing out a couple of the counts of overt acts that they're trying to, stack up and act like they have overwhelming evidence. You got a picture of Young Thug right here, and he's throwing up the YSL gang sign. And he's with the nigga that pretty much snitching on him right now. The nigga that's been doing all the bullshit, the nigga that started the whole war. Now maybe he did it for him. That's what the prosecution gonna be trying to push out. But he's got to kill the credibility of this dude, because he's gonna come to testify. He gonna be here unless he gonna be dead. I don't care. He might have to come testify from in the jail cell, because I doubt if this nigga is free. This nigga stay locked up. They have to literally get this nigga a job for him not to be locked up. Like, get this nigga free money.
And the RG is Rich Gang.
Posed for photo released on social media, red clothing, flashing YSL gang sign, overt act, and furtherance of the conspiracy. So just because they're on picture posing, they're showing they're furthering the gang. I guess because it was posted on social media out to the world, I guess. A little bit of a reach. I don't understand that one completely, but they're trying to tie them all.
That is Jeffrey, closest to us.
Now they got another picture right here over at Act 15, count 1. Defendant. So now they want to show a picture of Young Thug, not even paying attention. Somebody that took a picture of these niggas in the picture. They trying to act like they the feds or some shit. I agree with you. Just don't break laws, El Humbro. Shit.
There's money on that table. And it says that Jeffrey posed for Jeffrey's not even looking at the camera. Jeffrey didn't release that on social media. He didn't post it. That is Mr. Garlington. And that's Mr. Garlington's. We ain't going back and forth. Mr. Garlington and Mr. Copeland are brothers. They consider themselves one.
I don't understand how Thug's involved in that one at all. He's just sitting in the picture. Yeah,
Next one.
He didn't post it either.
It was January 26, 2015.
Just talking about when people go in court and lie and say the God honest truth. And
so this the quote that that they were reciting. This the quote that the lawyer has been reciting. The video released of Garland's Instagram account 16 days after the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr. stating, so a nigga lie to their mama, lie to their kids, lie to their brothers and their sisters, then get right in the courtroom and tell the God honest truth. Don't get it. Y'all niggas need to get fucking killed, bro. From me and YSL. They're saying that is an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Because he said from me and YSL. But somebody shared this. So this could have been put out before that man got killed. They're trying to say this man put this out after the man got killed. Like, they still reaching, man. You don't know what this man talking about.
overt act and furtherance of a conspiracy. Y'all N-words need to get effing killed from me and YSL. Yeah, that's just... Let's see how he defends this one.
It is 16 days after Donovan Thomas is killed. Lie to their brothers and sisters, then get right in the courtroom and tell the God's honest truth. Y'all ends need to be effing killed, bro, from me and YSL. That's exactly what Jeffrey's been thinking all the time. The criminal justice system is out of control. Mr. Garlington released that on his Instagram, not Jeffrey. Second of all, when was the video made by Jeffrey? Was it made, as the state told you, 16 days after Donovan Thomas' killing, and therefore somehow it's relevant to this murder? You will learn that that video was in existence before Donovan Thomas was ever killed. That is a repost. That is a repost by Mr. Garvington. The prosecutors, the police, are misrepresenting the evidence. What does happen on January 26, 2015, though? His name's...
Well, that kind of fucks him up. If that was a repost and they can prove that this is a repost and this was a post that went up before this man even died, that could fuck up their whole case with all that talking about, you know, acting like he was taunting the man and all that stuff like that. So he definitely has a valid point right there.
Mrs. Bennett. He goes by YFN Lucci. His mother's house. He shot at. That's what happened on January 26, 2015.
Oh, okay. Hold up. We can't miss that part.
Garvington. The prosecutors, the police, are misrepresenting the evidence. What does happen on January 26, 2015, though? His name's Mr. Bennett. He goes by YFN Lucci.
So, 2015, Young Thug and YFN Lucci develop a little tension, a little, you know, smoke. You know what I mean? So apparently YFN Lucci, mama house got shot up or something like that, and his mama got shot. Yeah, shit was really getting real.
His mother's house. He shot at. That's what happened on January 26, 2015. This is released by Mr. Garvington. Because everybody wants to associate with Jeffrey. He's the only one who got out of that area.
The video where he said all that, he didn't even post it. The other guy did. It was
on tour. Hey, if I do this, will Jeffrey do this? Can I get Jeffrey's number? Can I come to his house? Will he buy me jewelry? They use Jeffrey.
separating him from the group of YSL. He's doing a great job, honestly. He's snapping. He's like intense, getting his...
I will see the video. He's singing, and he's making signs with his hands that the prosecuting police say are gang signs. I can make gang signs. This is America. I can speak favorably to the Bloods, to the Crips, to Donald Trump, to anybody.
Boy, he had to make sure to throw Donald Trump in there, boy. Hey, boy, when you paying them millions for these lawyers, this is what $1 million lawyer look like, y'all. Y'all seeing the best of the best right here. This is how he's arguing why a nigga throwing up gang signs in a court of law to try to get it across to, we can't even say the white folks, because hell, the damn jury damn near black, all black. All it takes is one motherfucking nigga to not feel like Thug is guilty. Talking about a jury of your peers? Shit.
That's the overt act, and Jeffrey didn't even release it. This is on Mr. Garlington.
A lot of these posts he doesn't even post himself. That could sway a mind of a juror for sure. That they're like, oh, he didn't even post this. How are they saying he's the one that put the effort in like furthering the gang if he didn't even put it out?
That is the overt act. It's not written by Jeffrey. It's not released by Jeffrey. Music in the world, it's the #1. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry. You don't fear this. We encourage it. It generates money. It puts people to work. It's not meant for brainwashing. It's whatever the consumer chooses. It's art.
He's snapping, describing that, dude. I feel like he's going to be the same thing with the Melly.
That furthers, that drives this conspiracy. That's it. Jeffrey didn't even...
So he's going through a lot of these things, picking them off, couple, you know, just kind of giving them a rough idea, like all these shits that they talking about, overt act. That's like, look at your son, look at your cousin or whatever. They be throwing up little gang signs when they young and all that. But, man, come on. You know them niggas ain't busting shit. That's just what he's trying to get off. Because they're trying to use pictures like this as an overt act. A gang activity.
Release that. There's a social media captioned original slime SHI. And Jeffrey saying murder gang BIT and holding up his fingers.
Look at this bullshit. Murder gang bitch. And you gonna have a gang, supposed to be a gang expert, he's gonna come up and tell you what kind of bullshit gang signs these is.
YSL.
When companies are navigating different management,
It said them colors red and blue and white.
That's the overt act. That's driving this conspiracy. That is Mr. Bennett. He's a very, very, very prominent musical performer, rapper.
This is a bad one. I remember this one. So Thug did post this one. He said, "Why, Finn, if it ain't like what you do for your mother and kids, I would have been killed you." So he's saying.
Now, when we seen that on when this was going viral, I know all of y'all, if you're a hip hop fan, you probably seen this when it was going viral. And at that time, you thought that you could get away with anything that you were saying on social media. This nigga pretty much told this nigga, he tagged that nigga, YFN Lucci, saying, "FYN, if I ain't like what you do for your mother and kids, I would have been killed you." And overact to further the conspiracy. Shit, that do kind of sound like an overact there. Shit. You told a nigga you would have been killed him? But nobody took it serious back then. Well, I mean, it's probably some niggas in Atlanta that took that shit serious, but shit.
"Why, Finn, if it ain't like what you do for your mother and kids, I would have been killed you." So he's saying that, you know, he respects what YFN Lucci does for his mom and kids, and that's why he hasn't killed him yet. Crazy statement. Like, absolutely insane.
If I ain't like what you do for your mother and kids, and capitalize, I would have been kill you. That's supposed to be this rival, this leader of the YSL, the King Slime, against IF Gang. And here we go. What they don't tell you, but what you will learn, is the day before, Jeffrey released an album called So Much Fun. And YFN Lucci criticized that album. That it's awful.
So Much Fun was a banger album. Hold on. What good songs were on that? There were so many good songs on that. Hot with Gunna, Sup Mate with Future, The Mannequin Challenge with Juice WRLD, What's the Move with Uzi, Surf, Jumped Out the Window. Like, this album had bangers. Lucci's tripping.
And in 2016, years before, YFN Lucci, he's not as high as Jeffrey. He does not have as much fan base or interest. He doesn't make the money that Jeffrey does. So
see, that's what a white boy would think about that shit. I didn't feel like that. That shit was weird as fuck to me. I've never listened to a damn Young Thug album. I hear what they put on the radio and force in front of you, but that's about it. When I started seeing the nigga in dresses and all that shit, I mean, if I lived in Atlanta and I knew what them niggas got going on, I was like, okay, the nigga really is a street nigga. Hey, I take the shit serious, cool. But I never been into that type of music. I ain't on them Xannies and all that shit like that. So them niggas that be on them Xannies and shit, they be hearing some other shit. They be hearing some new shit.
YFN Lucci does what all these rappers do. They attach to somebody bigger to promote themselves.
He's saying Lucci's clout chasing. Damn.
In 2016, Mr. Bennett or YFN Lucci, he released on social media that he has been having sex with Jeffrey's fiance. So King Slime, all these years, this man saying that he sleeps with Jeffrey's fiance goes unharmed, nothing done. This is the post that Jeffrey says, and it's a real threat. If I didn't like what you do, it doesn't sound too much of a threat.
So it seemed like somebody's trying to make it like, well, it looked like YFN Lucci fucked Young Thug girlfriend. So he was trying to, you know, make it like they had a little beef or whatever. But Thug didn't get back at him like that. But that might have been what was behind that post. Like, nigga, if I ain't like what you did, what you do for your mama and your kids or whatever, I would have been killed you. He probably originally got mad at the nigga because he was fucking one of his bitches. So how did that beef start between them two niggas? That one nigga started, you know, feeling like he was Tony Montana when he started getting that money. And that nigga started going hard at all his ops.
And Mr. Williams, now this is not social media. These are actually conversations that the prosecution subpoenaed from Google or from Instagram or from Twitter or from Facebook. You get all of Jeffrey's statements. And what happened right before this, and if you look at the date, this is right before COVID hit in 2020. This producer or engineer's name is Chandler Durham. He goes by Turbo. And Turbo's car is sold. And in that car are beats that cannot be reproduced. They're the only copy. They're in a hard drive in his car. The car's stolen.
Dude, I've never understood the concept of producers losing beats to plug in your computer.
His friends or acquaintances or people that Mr. Huey knew. Not that Mr. Huey did, but that he knew who did do it.
So they're saying that a producer had some beats in the car and the nigga whole car got stolen. Well, I'm talking about this shit is a deep soap opera. Because they got some, they got some real shit that was going on of why niggas was starting these beefs and why niggas was getting killed.
Who has that property? And Jeffrey writes to him, if you don't take it back, you're gonna die. Give back the property. You will learn that no one died.
So pretty much they saying that Young Thug told a nigga, if you don't get that motherfucking car back with them motherfucking beats on it, you gonna die. Are we gonna learn that? Shit.
You will learn that the property was never given back.
Damn, he didn't follow through with the threat. It's actually kind of a good point. He's like, if he's such a big mob boss putting hits out on people and shit, put a hit out right here apparently. Y'all say he did, but no one ever died and the property was never returned.
And what the
Okay, yeah, that was a good point. That damn sure was a good point. Like, see, let me show you how cap my motherfucking goddamn defendant is. This man ain't never got back his thumb drive with those beats. And I told that nigga if he ain't get it back, he was gonna die. And that nigga still alive. I told you this nigga Thug was cap. That's what the lawyer trying to say right now. Told you this nigga was cap.
indictment did by the prosecution through the grand jury is they put this together, and this is bad. I am saying you
Objection to your argument.
This reads YSL rule the world, kid. 24M on an N head. Y'all just start bringing me the money. Man, y'all and stop playing with me.
Oh, this is about Uzi, the 24M. So they think he put $24 million on to kill people, like put hits out on people. But he's talking about Uzi getting that diamond on his forehead.
Oh, yeah. The prosecution fucked up with that. Y'all remember when goddamn Young Uzi Vert went and put that pink diamond in his forehead? And he said it was $24 million, and I think they got confused, and they're thinking that this nigga talking about he putting $24 million on a nigga head. So, of course, he caught that. His lawyer gonna catch that shit and point that shit out. That's only one mistake that they made. You know, maybe that won't make a difference.
Contract on someone's head. Kill him. Start bringing me the money. Stop playing. That's threatening. What you will learn is what the prosecutor did is they took these checks from various days, this is over a 3-day period, and they cut out all of the content. And what you will learn is that on February 4th of 2021, Jeffrey wrote, YSL rule the world, kid. 24M on an N's head. What happened on February 4th, 2021, that was released on social media, this person had a supposed, maybe it's real, supposed $24 million pink diamond and had it surgically implanted into his forehead. There is a photograph next to YSL rule the world, kid.
The prosecutor's shaking her head. She had no idea. I can guarantee you that.
24M on an N's head. There's a photograph. If you click on it, it is the rapper with the surgically implanted pink diamond in his forehead. The police buried this. The prosecution.
That nigga almost killed himself trying to do that crazy ass shit. I don't know what the fuck wrong with Uzi Vert, man. I mean, damn. Was that shit worth the publicity and shit? This nigga tried to put a fucking diamond in his forehead. 24, man, please. You gonna run around with that shit? I know that shit had to have that nigga head hurting for the longest.
This is a big deal. This is a bill of indictment in Fulton County, Georgia in 2024.
Argument.
That is misrepresenting. You will learn. You will see it. It has nothing to do with put a contract on someone's life. That's the evidence that's coming at you.
I love every second of this. This is incredible. The fact that Uzi got put into this.
Give me the money for the rent. We gotta pay the rent. I paid it last month. Everyone's supposed to put the money on the stove in the kitchen. Y'all aren't doing what you said you do. We live together. And Jeffrey said, y'all start to bring me your money. I'll pay the rent. That's the overact. That's furthering this conspiracy. That's what they did to that man. The next overact is May 13th of 2021. This is the chat. It's a
Man, I don't know what that man name is, bro. Lil Uzi Vert, Lil Uzi Hurt. What it is? I said Young Uzi Vert. Oh, it's Lil Uzi Vert. Lil Uzi Vert. Alright. That's damn. I ain't even noticed I said Young Uzi Vert. I can't even say that shit when I tried.
Again, these are the personal conversations not supposed to be seen. These are not released on social media. It's like a wiretap. This is supposed to be between these people. By the way, he's a Crip. He's in YSL. Crips are blue. But that's why it's a 100 gang. Everything moves. Y'all ain't beat him up or shot him yet. Y'all ends getting soft. Well, that sounds bad. But what you will learn is the conversation that other person tried to sleep with Trantavia Stevens' girlfriend. And the other person told Trantavia Stevens' girlfriend, Trantavia Stevens is cheating on you.
Oh.
And Trantavia Stevens and this other man are leveling each other. They're going back and forth and back and forth. And this goes on a long time. They're acting like kids. And Jeffrey wrote, y'all ain't beat him up or shot him yet. Y'all getting soft. He's talking to people that he tries to help and that he's known all his life. That is the over.
That nigga was instigating like a motherfucker. He see two niggas going back and forth. He like DMX on Belly. You remember when when the two niggas was kind of going back and forth at the damn dinner table, and the other nigga was trying to make the other nigga feel like he was soft. And he killed the nigga right there at the damn table. So yeah. Young Thug was on his goddamn what that nigga name was on Belly, Tommy shit. He was on his Tommy shit. I ain't lying.
So he's just calling out the prosecutor for putting stuff out of context. Kind of saying that they did this intentionally, cut stuff out of context.
Who's in custody and treat them. You out, buy anything for him? Jeffrey walked away. That's the next overdose. The next one is September 4th of 2020.
He's downplaying these overt acts pretty well, honestly.
Mr. Huey puts on his Instagram, it's not Jeffrey's post. Mr. Huey was in custody shortly before this. He wrote, from lockdown to a jet, slap is. Says Jeffrey poses for the photograph. Jeffrey's not even looking at the photographer. It's violent, territorial, money.
Yeah, he definitely trying to break down every one of these overt acts, but there's a lot of them. So of course you're gonna go through them and try to find the obvious ones that don't make no damn sense, and go ahead and show that there's a lot of them that don't make no sense. So when they try to show you all these other ones, it's just gonna look like a whole bunch of shit. Like it's gonna start getting mushy in the brain. To try to go through overt act after overt act, and it's just niggas every picture that a nigga ever took. This man is a motherfucking a rap star. Of course everybody want to make a damn take a picture. That's just like when Master P used to go everywhere. Nigga, every post. Imagine if there was social media when Master P then was going through their thing. Everybody would have been a no limit soldier. Or if a nigga would have took a picture with the goddamn the hot boys. Nigga, we hot boys. Anybody can claim your game when you got one of those kind of rap game kind of images or personas. Like I say, I'm not rooting for this nigga one way or another. I'm just calling it down the middle. How I see it anyway. I ain't gonna say it down the middle, just how I see it. Cause I'm gonna see it some shit in the hood way, and I'm gonna see some shit in the motherfucking political way. Y'all judge for your damn self.
Gathering, reputation building, fear producing.
Well, I mean, that is kind of a pose, let's be honest, boys. He didn't post it. So, I don't know, dude. This is iffy.
Right, and now this is a private conversation. This is not social media. And Mr. Huey wrote, you know I'm ready to handle the business and go sit down if I got to without any one of y'all on my mama.
So Mr. Huey happens to be in the courtroom right now, I believe. So they gonna be happy to sit your ass down. This nigga said, talking about, he stated, you know I'm ready to handle the business and go sit down about one of y'all on my mama. Man.
What the prosecution leaves out is the next line by Mr. Huey, where Mr. Huey writes, but I don't even know if this is true or not.
Here's one thing you need to do before buying anything online.
Or Sergio Kitchen. Mr. Huey responds yes. And what they're talking about, if you remember right before COVID, in 2020, Jeffrey is telling Mr. Huey, get those people to return those beats. Those beats are not ever coming back. They're lost information. That is valuable part. They're gone. They don't listen.
I wonder what he's whispering.
Posted on his Instagram. This is New Year's. It's December 31, day before New Year's, 2021. And to the prosecution, the police, the district attorney's office, that is a loud.
So now he's trying to, defend the whole slat shit, wiping the nose shit and all that shit. Everybody know what it mean, but to certain people, it could mean a certain shit. So these are some of the overt acts that they're trying to use, and he's already just in defense of it. We ain't gonna sit here and make you go through every single one of them, because we'll see that when the evidence comes. Pretty much pictures with Gunna saying, hey, YSL this, YSL that. He's describing what the lyrics are going to be talking about. He's about to read out some lyrics that he's trying to defend. He's defending the shoot at the truck, shooting at your Tahoe and rhyming that with taco and describing that as how is this man, just rhyme words pretty much. The whole thing with YFM Lucci, his mother was shot. Let's see what he has to say about that part.
I had no shoes. When I shot the city, act like you want war, they're gonna smoke you. like a blunt. A shot at his mommy. They're no longer mentioning it. The police are going to tell you. The prosecutor going to tell you. Huh?
Now, this is how a good lawyer is going to defend them trying to use these words against you when this man mama really got shot. He said the police are going to tell you, the prosecutor is going to tell you. That's what a good lawyer going to do. He going to tell you what they going to tell you and then exaggerate and fuck up their story. Fuck up what they supposed. He going to tell them what they going to tell you. I mean, tell you what they going to tell you, but do it in a sarcastic way where you just think that they lying like a motherfucker and they just trying to put together some shit.
Mr. Day, wife Michi, her mother was shot and died by shooting another gun by Mr. Cole. So on January 15, 2019. That shooting happened on January 26, 2015. There's no connection. Why?
Because it was 4 years later.
Just
now that's a solid point. That's a solid point. So if this man mother got shot house got shot at 4 years ago, and the man made the song 2019, but they're trying to make that a big point. Hey, you rapped about I shot at your mama crib. Nigga, this 4 years later when I said some shit like that. He might have did it. It might have was reminding that nigga. But a good lawyer gonna point out, hey, it ain't like he just shot at the nigga mama house and just said it 2 weeks later. You're talking about lyrics. And that's the main thing he's trying to prove. These are just lyrics. My client is Cap.
He's a part.
I done did the jacking, now I'm full rapping. I put on my brothers, I put on my bitch.
I up my style and take it to trial. Get an appeal, take it to trial, yeah. You know what?
I didn't know what the fuck that was, bro.
I can pay for the casket.
What is he thinking right now while he's reading these lyrics, bro? He's like, fuck, man. Why did I say all this dumb shit?
My young ends pulling up Bentleys, Aston Martins. You know 5 gang experts in this case from the district attorney of Fulton County? All work together in the city of Atlanta Police Department. Those of you who are 5 gang experts, they teach each other, they talk to each other, they decide what the rules are.
Making the gang experts look like they, aren't that well educated.
Designated as experts, they all are biased. They all target Jeffrey. They all work together. They have an agenda. Some of these words are not really the lyrics, but you can decide yourself, you hear the songs. It's now become criminalized. The words in America are criminalized.
So he's pretty much trying to hypnotize them to make them think, hey man, don't be taking all of this. They're going to be playing the words and the lyrics about this and thinking that that's going to definitely be the end all be all. Now, this lady here is the public defender for...
And this is his lawyer who said she's a public defender. At one point said she wasn't getting paid enough and wanted to make an OnlyFans. So this lady.
Poor, young, deviant. That's all it takes to become the target of his hate. I'm gonna break that down for you. Poor. Regardless was born on a couch. Let that sink in. He was born on a couch.
So she's telling about her client being born on the couch. She's giving his life story and everything. If she didn't
Dialpad AI is your magic crystal ball for sales.
If she didn't have those big time lawyers, helping her fight this case, I don't think they would be taking too much of what she about to say as far as her opening statement. It wasn't as strong as the others, but she's having to defend a guy that's already in prison doing a life sentence anyway. So this is somebody pretty much coming out of school. But we'll see how good she does throughout the trial. This guy here did his thing, and this is Jack Gotti's lawyer.
Bad, I don't know. This is Jack Gotti's lawyer right here, boy.
Let me say a third time, just so you're clear. He is not guilty of every single charge against him, as our great Constitution demands.
Hey, he was good with that one. He said he is not guilty of every single charge. He might be guilty of a couple of these motherfuckers, but he ain't guilty of all this shit these folks trying to charge.
The eyebrows are crazy here. What's going on with the eyebrows?
And we won't have to prove anything to you, as the judge told you. And the evidence in this case is my client. He is so very weak. The state's not going to be able to come anywhere near the standard required. Despite having paid his debt to society, the state is going to use his prior conviction to try to bootstrap these old crimes that he's already paid his debt for to get you, to convince you that he's guilty of these new offenses. They're going to try and get a second bite of the apple, despite the fact that he served his time. That he pled guilty. Like a bad magic trick. You're a bad magician who's like, look over here while they're picking your pocket. That's the evidence the state wants you to pay attention to. Lots of murder cases, gang cases, RICO cases take 1, 2, maybe 3 weeks to try at most. Why is this case going to take months? I'll tell you why. Because the evidence will show the government has got to drag in hundreds of witnesses to dance around the weak actual case that they have. They've got to bring in 5 experts to tell you what a gang is, and hope that after hundreds and hundreds of witnesses, you're either so confused or so worn down that you'll believe the state's theory.
Making it a fight between the people and the judiciary.
So they're gonna bring in 5 experts to tell you what a gang is. And they actually gonna do that bullshit.
DNA was present at the scene of the crime. Why not bring in one witness out of the hundreds that you're going to hear from that will just say, I saw Mr. Kendrick do it? Why not? Because it doesn't exist. And our Constitution and our civil laws and our democracy demand more. They demand that high standard.
Bro getting intense. He's trying to get his point across. So this is Huey right here, and his lawyer's about to come up. I believe his name is Mr. Matthews.
With a theft by receiving of a handgun, they reduce it down to a little misdemeanor, disorderly conduct. And now they say, hey, let's tell the ladies and gentlemen of this RICO trial, this is an overt act in a RICO conspiracy in a YSL case. That's what they have brought to you.
Charges changed or reduced? Like, why are they saying it's an overt act when it's already been reduced or dismissed? Huey was accused of doing some armed robbery, so here we go.
These items that we're talking about here, the Gucci, the Louis Vuitton, the debit cards, none of those items have ever been found on Mr. Huey's person, on Mr. Huey's car, in any residence. That's the state's case for those grouping of charges, ladies and gentlemen. No other.
So if that's true and he could prove that, but they're still, you know, ringing him up and he's just defending his client. You know, there's going to be a big sentencing, man. There's going to be a lot of charges that don't stick. As long as that conspiracy charge don't stick on one person, I'm pretty sure he'll be able to drop for all of them. I could be wrong on that, but we'll see.
Witnesses out there at that location that are going to tell you that they ever saw Mr. Huey at that location. That's what you're going to learn about that grouping of cases. No photographic lineup. This is interesting. Listen to me very closely. You will not hear any evidence of a cell phone tower locating Mr. Huey at 741 Roscoe Drive, Northeast Atlanta, Georgia. You will not. In the technology-driven world that we live in, cell phone evidence is powerful in terms of being able to put people at locations. Ask me, did Detective Henderson make any efforts to do that? You will learn the answer is no.
All right, that's pretty much it for today. A bunch of opening statements from 3 of the lawyers.
So that was pretty much all the opening statements. I know that was draining, y'all. It's like you got to go through 7 days. 7 lawyers of testimony and disputing and all that stuff done. So the third day, y'all, let's get a little bit further along.
I had a terrible.
Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button on the way in. So now we're getting into the gang expert. Now remember, they're gonna have 5 supposedly gang experts and, you know, some police officer and everything. But I think the first guy was a gang expert.
Gang expert Detective Belknap.
And we're gonna really have to determine if he's really a damn gang expert. Because cross-examining goes all kind of ways.
Gang expert Detective Belknap testifies on the origins of YSL. The media then accidentally shows the front row of the jurors in the live stream, which causes a giant delay, and there was rumors of a mistrial coming. The judge orders the cameras to not show the detective on the stand and only have audio for the rest of the day. Yeah, this wasn't a productive day at all. They were supposed to go through 3 of these witnesses, but they only got through 1. The prosecutor didn't do the best job on direct. She didn't get much information out of him besides just the origins. And now the media is messing up, showing the fucking jurors' faces. I wouldn't be surprised if this judge orders a lot more rules for the cameras now, and potentially even kicks the cameras out. Nap, I believe his name is, and he's a gang expert, but also a.
So yeah, that was the leading thing that happened on day 3. You got this guy that was coming up. He's supposed to be a gang expert, right? He comes up, and when he gets ready to come off of the stand, the camera kind of panned to the left and it showed the front row of the jurors. Hold on, did he show? Let me see, did he show the picture of the jurors? The camera slip? Nah, he got it blurred out. But it was going all through the internet. Somebody even made a post where they called out somebody's first and last name about that. Now what this dude, he came up there and pretty much he's telling them about the gang clothing. So what? Unblooded. What else he talked about? The gang tagging. You might see the gang spray painted some shit on the walls, on the sidewalk. So he's showing example of gang tagging. What else we got? So what, we blood and all that. let me see right here. Let him talk and give a little bit of his experience.
Certainly the crimes that Rock Crew members were suspected of. One of them, actually two of them were notable ones that we...
Okay, so right now he's going to give you his knowledge of what YSL was before it became YSL. Remember, we were saying it started off as Rock Crew, raised on Cleveland.
The front and back of one shirt. I want to make sure that's clear.
Is Red Cartel a record label?
I don't believe Red Cartel was ever actually a record label, but I don't know that for sure.
Was Red Cartel a criminal street gang?
Yes, ma'am.
Being a rapper or a performer and being a criminal street gang member, are those two mutually exclusive?
They're not mutually exclusive.
So you could be both?
You certainly could be. Certainly the crimes that Rock Crew members were suspected of. One of them, actually two of them were notable ones that we investigated early on in our working with this gang. One was ATM theft.
Objection. What's the basis, Mr. Sharp?
Your Honor, under Section 4...
Okay, I got it. I got it. I'm going to overrule your objection, sir.
Now, these are incidents that have formed. These are personal experiences as well as experiences that Detective Belknap is...
Your Honor, speaking objection.
I'm going to overrule the objection.
It sounded like but first, a word from our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy
and sales were predominantly in the Cleveland Avenue corridor, in that turf of that territory. But some of their aggravated assaults, some of their shootings, and even some of their homicides were in other parts of the city. So we saw a change in Rock Crew around 2012 into 2013.
So he's been working around and, you know, investigating these dudes for a while. You know, he's probably has a lot of knowledge about, you know, pretty much the Rock Crew before they were YSL. So that's why his testimony is going to kind of be important if he can keep his shit together.
Away from using the name Rock Crew, and we started seeing other things pop up in that area.
Do you know, or are you aware of what it was that happened before that precipitated that change, or that may have contributed to it, based on your experiences?
There were, I would say, two...
Based on confrontation clause in the full testimony.
Overruled.
Without speaking about...
So she's really trying to get the information out of him about how this gang became as powerful as it was with the leader of Young Thug. How did this game kind of form out? And he's been watching it since 2012, 2013, and he's seen it grow as what it is today.
Words someone else said, specifically, just generally the things that occurred.
Maybe three things that we observed that coincided with this change or this shift. One was law enforcement attention on Rock Crew. They've been obviously responsible, as I've mentioned, for a number of high-profile crimes. The Atlanta Police Department, along with federal partners, including the FBI and the U.S. Marshals, had conducted multiple investigations that led to many arrests of Rock Crew members. At that point, quite a number of them were in jail, at the very least, what we were told in some of our interviews.
Hearsay and confrontation clause.
I'll sustain the objection as to after that. You can rephrase it.
This next piece, I don't know if I can say without it being...
Okay. Let me ask you the question then.
Okay.
Did you all ever conduct any wiretaps that involved Rock Crew?
We did.
And during the listening to and reviewing of those wiretaps, did you all observe or hear members of Rock Crew talking to one another?
We did.
Foundation.
Overruled.
So the defense is objecting to a lot of what he's trying to touch on, but they have no mic back there that picks up.
It was being prosecuted in a murder trial here in Fulton County. One of the witnesses in that case had an intent.
As a small business owner, we know you can't just sit back and wait for your audience to...
He ain't giving us... I don't understand what the hell that's why I said we ain't even going to sit here and listen to all that bullshit.
Mr. Steele, don't do that. You can approach.
So he's mad that they keep talking about people that aren't involved in this.
Because all they're doing is just trying to paint a picture of saying, okay, well, no, I think I'm confused. I think maybe I'm confused because maybe I don't understand what the hell they're doing.
Armed robbery on Cleveland Avenue of Javoris Crittenden.
Okay. I see what I was about to say. He's painting a picture of how the gang started and everything. Now they're about to get into a conversation about Javoris Crittenden. I think Javoris Crittenden is the same dude that had the situation with Gil also.
So, Mr. Stevens,
if I'm not mistaken. Remember when Gil brought the guns to the locker room? This Javoris Crittenden dude, I think he's the one that ended up getting a murder crime for fucking with these YSL niggas.
Was suspected of committing an armed robbery on Cleveland Avenue of Javoris Crittenden, who at the time was an NBA basketball player. After that time, during our investigation, Mr. Crittenden was accused and later convicted of shooting at Mr. Stevens and shooting and killing an innocent third party.
Occurred in close temporal proximity with the call for Quentin Porter.
It did, to my knowledge, yes.
Okay, that coincided with the split or eventual change in the structure of rock group?
Around this time on social media, there was also posted a picture.
Your Honor, we're not talking about a statement, out-of-court statement being offered for the truth of the matter asserted. We're talking about an observation.
I'll rule the objection.
On social media.
I'll rule the objection, Mr. Steele. In the picture that was posted to social media.
So pretty much though, man, that was an NBA player that got tricked off the streets, fucking with these niggas. This nigga done robbed the damn NBA player, done robbed Javar Crittenton. Javar Crittenton wasn't hearing that shit. Went to busting at that nigga and done killed the innocent person. Now he doing time. You say that is him steady grinding? Yeah, man, he fucked up right now, man. But he pulling up. His name is being mentioned in this YSL trial to describe how they one of the first things that they were involved in.
The investigative summary stated that Mr. Porter had given a statement. Bless you. Foundation. That's your objection? Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, as to what was in the report that was posted to social media, again, we are not offering it for any truth of the matter asserted, and we can actually get through this testimony without it.
All right, I'm going to overrule the objection.
So I believe they're objecting, saying it's not a matter of the truth and it's hearsay.
Can you tell the jury whether it is unusual or if it is often that things of that nature, homicide reports or investigative reports, parts of it are put up on social media?
With increasing frequency, yes, we are seeing that.
And what is the purpose of that, generally, as it relates to the gang?
Objection to other person's speculation.
Overruled.
And what is the purpose of that as it relates to gang culture and law enforcement investigation?
Currently, what is probably our greatest challenge in investigating street gangs is witness tampering. And this activity has been a significant part of that, where potential witnesses or victims that are cooperating with police can be outed on social media to a large number of people in a very short amount of time, thereby making it very difficult to get people to testify, to report crimes.
Now, he's saying something that that's very believable. Every time something happens, nobody can't testify because people done put their face and their address and all kind of shit on social media, you know. So how can somebody come in and testify against somebody if the people that are out here enjoying the music and all that, they'll rather have their favorite rapper than have justice for a murder or some kind of victim of their family member. That's just the world we living in right now.
To be witnesses. Essentially, rock crew, as we had seen it, nearly disappeared from Cleveland Avenue. We didn't see that name in use anymore, and we didn't see the same activity centered around that set of identifiers happening on Cleveland Avenue.
What was it that you saw in its place?
2013, and going into mid-2013, we started getting reports, 911 calls for service from a variety of people in the Cleveland Avenue area. From
a surrogate competition clause.
Overruled, Mr. Steele. We received calls from several of the schools in the area, as well as some parents in the area, and the general reporting.
Your Honor, objection is exactly.
They just trying to fuck this nigga up every kind of way they can. They're like, hey man, just shut the fuck up, cause you speaking on some shit that you just rambling on some shit. None of this shit is relevant, but it kind of is relevant. So they want to fuck them up as much as possible.
Violating the order.
One of the earliest places we saw that was from reporting of incidents within the community.
And
hold on one second. If you have a device that is a camera with a shutter or anything else that is making noise, please put it on man mode. I told you that yesterday, or I'm going to have it removed. I'm sorry. I apologize to all of you.
There's a fucking photographer in there.
Man, somebody in there snapping it up, man. About to get their ass thrown up out of there. Get 20 days. Or get a motherfucking essay to write.
And are these coming from adults, from schools, from middle age, from high school?
Speculation, computation clause, hearsay.
So he said speculation and hearsay on that objection.
Sustained it as to one of the basis form, and so you can rephrase that.
Shocking. The judge sustained one.
Are these reports coming into the Atlanta Police Department?
Yes, ma'am.
And are they coming in through civilians?
Yes.
Slime. Are they related to adults? Are they related to children, or what?
Basis. No.
Because right now she's trying to, paint a picture of, okay, what about all these police reports that you're claiming that you've been getting to these neighborhoods, whether by police, whether by kids, schools, whatever. The neighborhood. So it's just kind of a run around the rosy. We're going to fast forward a little bit. Based in the same area. It's a little back and forth. But he's pretty much going to tell y'all all the signs of the gang common name, Young Slime Life. They got red bandanas, green bandanas. They use words like slat, slime, tattoos, YSL, Slime Life, 5-point stars, graffiti, all this.
Stars and red accents in some of those tattoos. Graffiti was similar identifiers, but seeing that tagged in the community. Their attire, again, using those gang flags or gang bandanas in red or green colors, and also custom clothing.
Salute David Johnson.
Around the idea of slime. And we also saw them using other distinguishing characteristics, like using snakes, lizards, including emojis of snakes on social media. Some members refer to the group as Rudy Gang. That refers to a gang member who was shot and killed in 2016, specifically often those associated with the Sex Money Murder Bloods.
Were there any crimes that you observed or that were investigated that were committed by members of Young Slime Life in furtherance of the group itself?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you talk to the jury a little?
So he's saying that he's witnessed crimes that were committed by the gangs that he's investigated himself. Now, this is interesting.
About those types of crimes and the types of crimes that were investigated.
Oh yeah, I knew they were gonna object to that. She's.
And yeah, that would be a little.
Sir, do you have a phone?
Yeah. Now, in case y'all don't know, the jury definitely is taking into account of that. So if he would have told about some of those crimes, but see, those crimes might not have nothing to do with this case. But we'll see what they say.
Sales in the Cleveland Avenue area.
But it was overruled, so he gets to tell what kind of crimes. But mostly narcotic sales.
Narcotic sales and distribution. We also saw armed robberies. We saw shootings. We've seen murders, auto thefts, burglaries. We did see some ATM thefts and other things of that nature.
Now, were there any other groups that you found to be associated with Young Slime Life?
As Rock Crew had an association with 30 Deep, we found the YSL also had an association with 30 Deep.
And were there any rival groups of YSL?
Well, they were not initially rivals. During the course of our investigation, we discovered a rivalry between Young Slime Life and the Inglewood Family Gangster Bloods. There are three gangs in Atlanta that are associated with the Inglewood Family Gangster Bloods specifically. Those are ABG, the Haiti Gang, and also Bird Gang.
Are you familiar with the record label called Young Stoner Life?
I am.
Is that the same entity that you are referring to when you say Young Slime Life?
No, it's not.
Would you tell the jury the distinction?
Young Stoner Life is a Georgia corporation that was, I believe, incorporated in July of 2014 as a music publishing arm. When I refer to YSL, what I'm referring to is Young Slime Life, the gang that we investigated for these activities that we've discussed.
There's obviously a record label form.
So that's what they got. They got to distinguish between a Young Slime Life and a Young Stoner Life. 2014. Now I wonder if he had something to do with Young Stoner Life, but either way it go, they know they're investigating the street gang.
Anyone because of something that they wrote, music-wise.
This is inappropriate. I object to relevance.
Oh, objection. I don't honestly feel like I can speak for the police department in its history.
As it relates to a musical artist's words, is there any crime in saying words?
There are certainly potentially crimes in spoken words.
All right. Now, I'm not talking about crimes being described in words. I'm speaking of, is there a crime to speak the words?
As a generality, no. Outside of...
Your Honor, that's the answer to the question. And
So it's not responsive, is that what you're saying? Okay, I'll sustain this and not responsive.
have you ever sought to arrest anyone for speaking words? In a song?
No, ma'am.
I think the reason why
He acting like he had a hard time of thinking about that. Nigga, you done listen to some of those songs and tried to come and arrest a nigga about it. Yeah.
Young Slime Life and Young Stoner Life. Did you or have there correlations between those two entities?
Well, to the extent that I'm not sure I understand your question.
Okay. Does the Atlanta Police Department and you as a gang investigator consider Young Stoner Life to be the same as Young Slime Life?
ask and answer.
I'll overrule the objection. Through the course of our investigation, we did not view those two entities as being the same. No.
Would you talk a little bit about gang colors as it relates to
he has a funny resting face. His face is like this.
your expertise?
Gangs often represent their gang through the use of specific colors, just as a visual identifier to represent that gang. Of course, all of these colors can be used in completely non-gang related and lawful ways, but gangs will particularly adopt the use of these colors. Oftentimes, we use them in a particular way. So, for example, gangs that...
So he's saying that, okay, they could just have these bandanas just for the fuck of it, but they're just saying that, hey, we can associate these bandanas with the Bloods and all that. But they're wearing green, money green, and all that shit like that. I mean, this is very necessary to people who are totally naive to anything about gangs. So I guess
associate with the Bloods will use the color red, as we mentioned. They'll also often associate those colors with the right side of their body. This is a counter to the rival Crips, who often associate their colors and identifiers with the left side of their body. So we may see those colors used on the right side. The picture here, and just an illustration of wearing a bandana, a red bandana on the right side of the body. There's another example of use of a bandana, maybe worn tied around the head, tied around the neck. I think we saw a picture earlier of using the bandana tied around belt loops. We often will see that tied on the right side of a belt loop.
Now, if you notice, this dude here, he got YSL tatted on his face.
This also, as you can see, is an example of a gang tattoo with the letters YSL tattooed on the right side of the face.
In your opinion, Young Slime Life is a criminal street gang?
Yes, ma'am. Sure. And this is a picture of Mr. Stevenson, who went by Rudy and who's unfortunately deceased, in the use of the green bandana that we saw used with YSL. All right. And this photo, again, the use of the green bandanas, and also we're beginning to see hand signs in this picture. The YSL hand sign made this way.
Now, the YSL hand sign that you just held up, would you explain to the jury what, because I saw fingers, would you explain to the jury what it is that you're doing with your fingers?
Sure. So this would be the Y here, and then I guess these fingers form your S, and then this is the L.
Hold on, what the fuck? I don't see no. Where you got that S from? Do y'all see an S in there? Oh, okay. I guess this finger and this S, L, a Y. Okay, I guess I see the S.
Would be the Y here, and then I guess these fingers form your S, and then this is the L. As I mentioned, we began seeing members of this group tattooing themselves with YSL. So this photograph was taken during the arrest of Trontavia Stevens. He has YSL tattooed on his body, and this was in addition to previous tattoos.
This mistake is cost.
On this day where he had Rock Crew, Cleveland Avenue tattooed across his fingers. Here's another example of this tattoo. You can see on the right shoulder it says slime, on the left shoulder it says life. And here another example of YSL being tattooed on the right side of the face. Sure, so this is an example of the YSL hand sign again.
So, throwing up gang signs with gang tattoos, niggas getting gang tattoos of your gang, committing crimes at any time, they can hit you with that RICO.
Being thrown here.
The person wearing red, is the person wearing red throwing YSL hand sign, or the person wearing white throwing the YSL hand sign?
Yes, I apologize. The person on the right wearing the red is throwing the YSL hand sign. It's another example of the YSL hand sign. This is an additional hand sign used by YSL members. It's to indicate wiping your nose, and they will draw the index finger across the lip underneath the nose. So here's some examples of some of the clothing we began to see YSL gang members produce and wear. This hoodie on the left has a definition of the word slime as I can't be trusted, or repulsive or despicable person, wipe your effing nose, is you slime enough. And on the right you see a hat which says Make America Slime Again. So this is an example.
So this is just a promotion of this era, man. You can't trust now one of these niggas in this era. Niggas that made it popular to stab niggas in the back. It's a dirty game these days, boy.
What we've seen, where we'll see YSL and then SLAT, or some combination thereof, tattooed on various places around the Cleveland Avenue area.
You know what's crazy is if this picture's up there and one of them who did it is in the courtroom sitting there. Like, I doubt it, but that's fun.
It is not.
Has a large part of that activity occurred in the Cleveland Avenue area in Fulton County?
I would say so, yes. 30 Deep existed prior to my time coming into the gang unit. They were believed to be founded in 2004. As you recall, I came to the gang unit in 2009, and we immediately were tasked with investigating crimes committed by 30 Deep. They were based in the Mechanicsville neighborhood, which is in southwest Atlanta, and we've identified over 100 members or associates of 30 Deep. Yes, so we found they were associated with ROC, as mentioned, then YSL. They also had an association with the Goodfellas street gang. And what we saw was a cooperation between those two groups and their criminal activities, such that the line was blurred between the two groups. They were regularly together, both associating with each other and committing crimes with each other. The initial message is obvious. It says 30 Deep. And then again, excuse the language, it has...
So he's pretty much talking about the stuff that they wearing. They saying that they kind of clicked up with another group called 30 Deep. And I think they were out of Mechanicsville, so he's showing all the kind of shirts these niggas would walk around with, not giving a fuck. They were a branch of the Sex Money Murder Gang. So now we're gonna get into the part where I think they showed somebody's face or something.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I could just grab your attention right quick so we can go ahead and get started. Before we go ahead and summon our jurors, I just wanted to pose an inquiry to our members of the media here. Due to some security issues not attributable to anybody in this courtroom or the parties, and the fact that we have had an inadvertent recording of some of our jurors on the front row, would it be appropriate or okay if you all would not continue to film Detective Belknap? You're welcome to go ahead and do the audio, but is that something that you all would be willing to do, please? Everyone okay with that? Okay.
So they're not allowed to film the detective that was already filmed all day. I guess he's just trying to be careful that they don't want to do.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that they want to not film him no more. Nigga, you already on camera. But we pretty much know what this guy's going to talk about. Let me see if he's going to say anything more. Could be a wiretap investigation. She pretty much just asking him just what's his role.
Days a week on social media.
Is there any role of social media in witness intimidation that you see during your investigations?
There is. One way we mentioned is the publishing of information on social media to out someone who may be testifying as a victim or witness in a gang-related criminal trial or proceeding of some kind. So in addition to that, gang members will often post overt threats on behalf of other members of their gang, which is going into part of the strength of the group and the threat of the group. Gangs have been involved with music for decades now. This is not a new thing. It has reached new levels, though, over the past, 10.
Yeah, he just speculating a little bit, and they allowing him to. So,
there's nothing more frustrating than pouring your...
So I think I could be able to move on to the next person or the next video. Hold on. Let me see what else happened on that third day.
So honestly, today was terrible. They were supposed to get through 3 witnesses today. They barely got through 1, and he's coming back to get cross-examined tomorrow. Miss Love didn't do the best job in direct at all. Like, she didn't get...
Okay, so the dude, he didn't get done. They're going to do the cross-direct the next day. So that's how day 3 went. They just pretty much finished. They let that dude come up and, do his thing or whatever. He pretty much took up the whole fucking time telling us what the gang was and all that crazy shit. I think that court day was 4 hours. I'm looking at it right here. And this is the full thing right here. They had to go take a long ass break. So that's why I say we're catching up. We're catching up. So let's go to day 4. Day 4 kind of went like this. I think there were a lot of interesting things that happened in day 4. So this video here is about 30 minutes long. I think we could get through it pretty quick. And after this, we will be all caught up on what's going on in the Young Thug trial, and we can go forward from here and keep on track with what's going on. So let's see what happened on the last day.
Nice little black turtleneck, some khaki pants.
So you can continue the examination.
He looks a little annoyed today, and he's also shaped like Santa Claus. This lady is a house mom at a strip club. I guess it's like a lady.
Oh, yeah. So what happened on day 4? They got another one of the 400 witnesses that they're going to have come up. So we already heard so far a gang expert. Next witness coming up is JJ Boss. I ain't lying. This woman that's about to come up, she works at the Pink Pony. She is like the woman that you have to go to before you leave the Pink Pony. You got to do a breathalyzer test, and if you a stripper in Atlanta, you have to get a dancer's permit. So she's the one that you have to report all that stuff to. She's like the house mom, pretty much. So she's going to describe her story of how she got robbed out of her car.
No one would ever know I'm there the rest of the night. And I had my backpack that night. We was on the parking lot, left on the Metropolitan right, and then I take the interstate and head south towards Newman. It did. It did have OnStar. The car had OnStar. I had not had time to activate the OnStar system.
You remember from that night as you drove home that.
So pretty much she's going to describe a night when she was leaving she was leaving the strip club. She's leaving from work. She's already described what time she left, which is about, I think she said 3:55. And he kind of clipped off all the extra talking because we would be here all night. But she was on her way home from work, and she pretty much got robbed by some YSL members. That's pretty much where they're going at with this. This is one of their 400 witnesses.
I don't remember anything. It's a peaceful time of morning. I usually have my radio on. It's a decompressing time for me. It's just time to think. And I'm probably, so anyone following me, I would have been oblivious. That's my time.
I actually kind of feel bad for this lady. She seems like a nice...
I'm going to block the entrance, so I pulled on to the right, which is the direction I would have taken to go home anyway. So I turned to the right, stopped, got out of my car, turned it off. I left my keys and everything in my car.
So this is how, now he trimmed out a lot of the, you know, the little chatter back and forth, you know what I'm saying? But pretty much, this woman left work 3:55, so somebody apparently followed her home, bumped her back rear, so when she got out of the car to look at her bumper, one of the guys jumped out of their car, went and jumped in her car, and took off with her car. So that's how they carjacked her. So y'all got to be careful out there. Somebody bump you at nighttime, hey man, shit. You might want to stay in the car for a while and call the police from inside the car. Because that's how a motherfucker can carjack you. But that's pretty much what she's about to say happened to her.
I walked towards the back of the car. A young man got out of his car. I greeted him. He greeted me. I looked down at the bumper and saw no damage. And I really, at that point, was going to look up and say, honey, I'm tired. I'm going home. You go home. And as I looked up, I saw someone in his car rising up, and he was running around me. I guess my mind knew something was about to happen, something that wasn't good, but it happened so fast. He got in my car, and because of the backpack, my mind just focused on the backpack. I opened the back left passenger's door, thinking I could reach into the front seat and get the backpack.
That backpack had that bag in there. That's what it was. Shit. All that money she had done trimmed off of the motherfucking house fees. She had that bag. But she could have set herself up to get robbed, though. Because she probably had the club money. But I don't think that, I'm just, speculating. But somebody in that club had to know. Somebody in the club had to tell them dudes who had some money. One of those girls set her up, in my opinion. In my opinion, I think one of the girls from the club set her up. But I don't think there's any females on this RICO trial. But I've heard several females being mentioned, including Young Thug's sister. And there had to be a female that pretty much put them on to this woman right here. Because she said that she doesn't get seen. She's like in the background, and she's not out there in G-strings and shit, dancing.
And the backpack, because it had my daddy's CD in it and my camera. So I reached in to get that, and I guess instinct, I don't know, God said just let it go. So I stepped back and actually shut the door myself.
Y'all heard that? So she, out of instinct, when she seen that dude going running around and trying to go get in the car, she reached in there and grabbed her bag and let the dude drive off with the car. So, do it sound like she might have set herself up, used the game to, you know what I'm saying? Because she had just bought that car. She might have figured out something fucked up about that car or something, you know what I'm saying? Had them niggas steal that bitch. Hey, sometimes the plot get a little deeper.
And he drove off. At that point, I think the other car had already gone.
I think this is from 2014 too.
I'm 5'8". He was...
So 2014, this is when they was in their gutter days. I don't know if they saying Young Thug did it or they did it for Young Thug gang. But we're talking about a situation that happened 10 years ago that they're bringing up as an overt act now in a RICO charge.
Slightly shorter than me, not thin, but a little smaller young man.
Were you able to discern what ethnicity or race this person was?
He was a black young man, or he looked to be black. I could not. He seemed really young. He did seem young. I would say early 20s. I had my daughter's checkbook in there. I was joined on her account at the time. Cancel all our bank accounts, all our credit cards, and then it occurred to me they're going to get a bounced check. I don't want the law coming after me for a bounced check. So I called the dealership to let them know what had happened. The lady asked me if I had contacted OnStar, and I said I have not because I have not had time to activate the OnStar. And she said, "Ma'am, you don't have to have it activated OnStar."
So pretty much she realized that when she tried to cancel all the checks and everything, that she had OnStar. So now the people who carjacked her car, if they had any damn sense, they would have done got rid of the car. But no, they're going to get tracked down with the car. So the next person that's going to come up to testify is going to be the detective that was trying to find her car. And then it's going to tell the story about one of the guys that are in court right now, how he ended up with the charges that he got right now. And it's going to be an interesting story. So y'all might need to hold on for a second. It's kind of early. We're going to be out of here probably by 9 o'clock. So y'all just hang in tight. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Enjoy the content.
And do you remember the date that happened when OnStar called and told you that your car was located?
No, ma'am, that was 10 years ago. Oh, my.
You were never called upon to come and identify anyone who was found in possession of the car, right?
That is correct, yes, sir.
Why would they not have a lineup of, 5 pictures or 5?
Now, I wonder the same thing. They never showed her a lineup when they did pick out the people who, who pretty much bumped and robbed her. So, this is... Y'all got to remember, they got to prove that Young Thug and these dudes were doing this for Young Thug and to further the gang. Or were they just doing little bullshit just because these niggas were young and wild and thugging, and when they do it, they got to hang out with Young Thug every now and then because he's from the same neighborhood.
5 people come so she can confirm that was the person that stole it. I thought she was going to be able to point out someone or say that she knows it was someone in YSL and she recognized the picture of someone, but a little pointless. But I understand why they called her. I mean, robbed by someone in YSL clearly, so that's why. But
what's good, Larry Wade?
So I guess there was an order for them not to film any of the state experts or detectives or anyone.
And arrest those people. We received information from our dispatcher that OnStar was tracking a vehicle that was taken in a carjacking. We located the vehicle and we parked in a position that we could keep our eye.
Now we're hearing from the detective now, y'all. So we done moved past the lady who got her car stolen by one of the so-called YSL members. Now we're about to hear from the detective and this undercover cop that located the vehicle through the OnStar. So this is about to get a little interesting.
Eyes on it in case somebody came back to the vehicle. Blackmail cars to interdict them and arrest those people. We received...
Not they called her. I mean, robbed by someone in YSL clearly, so that's why. But so I guess there was an order for them not to film any of the state experts or detectives or anyone because they're not showing this guy's face. So.
And I think this is another gang expert supposedly also, but he's definitely an investigator.
Was to stop people from stealing cars, and once they stole cars, to interdict them and arrest those people. We received information from our dispatcher that OnStar was tracking a vehicle that was taken in a carjacking. We located the vehicle and we parked in a position that we could keep our eyes on it in case somebody came back to the vehicle. Black male with black clothing and a do-rag.
What did that person do once they pulled in?
Well, I drove closer to the vehicle to get a better description of the driver and to try to see what apartment they were walking into. So as I did that, the driver turned and looked at us, so we made at that point, most likely. So we saw the driver.
So he can't just tell you straight up who he saw driving the damn car. He's saying, okay, you say y'all was posted up looking at the car to see who was going to get back in the car. Somebody got in the car and started driving around. You seen a black male with a do-rag.
Speculation.
I'm going to overrule the objection, sir, at this point in time.
So we saw the driver walk into the building. And
so you saw the driver walk into the building, so you should already be able to solely identify him.
Then a short time later, several other people exited the building.
So other people exited the building. You know who this man is. Where your police at? If you see a stolen car, come pick that motherfucker up, and you already seen the dude that you already seen driving it.
They looked at my partner and myself in our vehicle, and they began motioning for us to roll our window down. They were shouting obscenities while doing so.
So he's saying pretty much they spotted them watching them. So the niggas was yelling at them, shouting out obscenities.
Just be that they were probably all under 25 years old or around that age. There were some middle fingers. There were some gang signs being thrown. I cannot tell you what they were.
Flicking off the cops and throwing gang signs at them?
The most, I would say, violent with his hand signals, signs being thrown, and his motioning for me to roll down the window. Lifted him.
So he's saying that this nigga was throwing up gang signs violently. They thought y'all niggas was some niggas that was just trying to watch them or something. I don't know. This is a white dude, I'm pretty sure. It sounds like a white dude. So he probably knew he was the police.
His waistband to show us that he had a pistol in his pants.
Oh, they were undercover. They were in an unmarked vehicle. I think that's what he said earlier.
Pulled the pistol from his pants and held it down beneath his waistline while pointing the barrel at myself and my partner.
This is the overt act they're talking about with Trontavia Stevens. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon with Reginald Pettis. It's the first overt act from fucking 10 years ago. Trontavia Stevens also took a plea deal already, so he's not even in the courtroom right now. So they're going to go
Now that's interesting.
through a lot of these overt acts.
I'm sure it's in the report. And myself and my partner searched the wooded area where we saw the suspect re-enter the apartment complex. The K9 was able to find a firearm that had been placed inside of a bucket.
Or associate photographs with a particular incident.
It's usually done right there.
So they're talking about a situation of a dude that already took a plea deal, but they just want to make sure it goes into the line of shit that they're trying to say links into doing it to further the gang. I don't see how this furthers Young Thug's gang. This just sounds like some dumbass shit niggas out here doing.
He doesn't know who's speculating.
I stand as I stand it. It's a form of the question.
Okay.
I'll sustain the objection to that.
The suspect's name is Mr. Trontavia Stevens.
Who are you referring to?
The occupants of the Buick.
No. You said they were none of the people. The occupants were.
She's testifying this point. She's stuck with him.
Your Honor, there's no stuff with the answer.
Hold on. I will sustain that objection. So, Ms. Love, you do have to go through the proper foundation.
Sure, Your Honor.
You just can't tell the witness no.
I'm not trying to tell them.
Yeah, well,
Dialpad AI is your magic.
She was like, no. She just, you can't, man, come on, man. This shit getting heated up in here.
objection.
She just literally tried to reply to a witness and said, no, that's not the correct answer. Like literally trying to help him answer it the right way.
Start at the top and read the first 3 paragraphs. Your Honor, I'm going to
Let him finish his objection first now. Okay, what's your base of your objection?
It's going to be cumulative. He's already testified. It's going to be improper bolstering. He's already testified about the items that she's asking.
I sustain it as to the second basis.
This is Thug's lawyer, Keith Adams. He's coming up to cross-examine. He's going to try to make this guy look.
Okay, so they got, Thug got a black and a white lawyer. They kind of got like a, you know what I'm saying, 2 running back duo.
Unreliable. See if he lied about anything or said something wrong or.
Hey, I think he about to crack Buddy head up though.
Something like that. Different in a police report. Who knows?
The report itself is actually only 2 pages. What's attached here is the warrant application.
You were the officer who took out the charge, right?
Yes.
You are the person that's listed as the victim in this case.
Now, see what he's about to make this officer do. Because we already heard what the prosecutor, they're going to throw this nigga all the weak balls. That's what they did on day 3. They let him tell how much he know about the gang. They let him tell how much he know about the gang signs and all that. But now when it's time for the cross-examination, when somebody got to ask you those real questions about that little story you told about a dude that's not here, how you found the gun on, or how he came outside throwing up gang signs and all that shit there. Watch how the new Johnny Cochran come through and hit him across the head. So if that dude, that white dude, is the top lawyer in Atlanta, what that makes one of his allies, or one of his, what they call them?
Right?
Yes.
And the criminal offense that you charged Mr. Trontavia Stevens with was aggravated assault, right?
Yes.
You didn't charge him with auto theft, right?
Correct.
You didn't charge him with carjacking, right?
So you ain't charging with auto theft. I thought y'all was looking for a stolen car. Don't if you catch the nigga with a goddamn stolen car, you supposed to charge their ass with auto theft? But you come pick a nigga up for auto theft, then you end up charging him with some kind of aggravated assault against a goddamn police officer. Talking about he pulled out a gun and now you trying to put a gun on a nigga and try to say I pointed a gun at you. That's a bigger charge than this motherfucking carjacking, or not carjacking, but just possession of a stolen vehicle. That's all that is. if you're not gonna say I actually carjacked the car, because you didn't put this man into a photo lineup where the lady who got carjacked could have said, yeah, this nigga right here, that's the nigga who carjacked me. Now you can get him for carjacking too. But you know definitely he's in the stolen car. So that's all he should be getting charged with right now. But instead, he's getting charged with an aggravated assault because he's getting charged for pointing a gun at this guy who's not in uniform, sitting in the car, acting like they're gonna, you know, do something to him, or sitting outside their apartment.
Correct. Because you had no evidence that he did any criminal act other than what you said was an aggravated assault, right? Correct. When you testified on Largo for the state, they asked you a couple questions about this. Criminal offense out of the charge, right? Yes. You are the person that's listed.
I'm gonna rewind that part back so y'all can see how he's about to break him down real quick.
Is the warrant application. You were the officer who took out the charge, right? Yes. You are the person that's listed as the victim in this case, right? Yes. And the criminal offense that you charged Mr. Trontavious Stevens with was aggravated assault, right? Yes. You didn't charge him with auto theft, right? Correct. You didn't charge him with carjacking, right? Correct. Because you had no evidence that he did any criminal act other than what you said was an aggravated assault, right? Correct. When you testified on Largo for the state, they asked you a couple questions about this. You said they were flashing gang signs, right? Correct. You didn't say that in your report, did you? No.
Oh shit. What? So you want to get up here in front of all these folks talking about this man threw up a gang sign, but when it happened, you ain't put that in your report? Hold on, let's hear that again.
Right? Correct. You didn't charge him with carjacking, right? Correct. Because you had no evidence.
Didn't charge him with nothing but saying that he aggravated assault him. You ain't had nothing on that man. You chased that man down and you put a gun on him and you said that the man pointed a gun at you and you said that he throw up gang signs. Ain't nobody see that shit but you and that man, and you just locked up another black man. That's pretty much what they're using this lawyer to say. He's doing a good job of showing, saying that to the black jury over here. You just seen a black man and you assume that he was the one that stole that car. You chased that boy, he ran. Talking about you found a gun under a bucket. Now you trying to give this young black man a fucked up record. He ain't even here. You lying motherfucker, talking about you know what a gang is. He threw up gang sign. What gang sign he threw up? I know. I'm just being a good defense lawyer, y'all. Y'all don't goddamn... I ain't on nobody's side. I don't care who win here. I know they're gonna fuck it up. You know, I don't give a damn, to be honest.
That he did any criminal act other than what you said was an aggravated assault, right? Correct. When you testified on Largo for the state, they asked you a couple questions about this. You said they were flashing gang signs, right? Correct. You didn't say that in your report, did you? No. And I mean, you wrote a 2-page report, and it was very detailed about everything that happened and everyone who was involved, down to names and dates of births, right? Right. You put serial numbers in, right? Yes. And you're trained as a police officer that anything that is of significance, like if you think, for example, something is gang-related, you put that in the report, right? Right. But that report, you know, the same one that she had you read, right, because you can remember some stuff, in that third paragraph where it talks about what you saw those people doing, you ain't say nothing about, I saw gang signs, right? Correct.
Oh.
I guess he forgot about that, y'all. He forgot about, oh yeah, this nigga was throwing up gang signs. But now when you got a RICO act, yeah, I think I remember that nigga throwing up some gang signs. Man, please. You're losing credibility, detective.
Signs and flicking us off.
He didn't indicate that anywhere on his police report that there was any sort of gang involvement in this case, did he? No. All right.
All of our lightsabers are specific.
See, that's what good lawyers do. They take the credibility away from even a police officer.
He's leaving out little details, bruh, on this police report. Is that normal for cops to leave out gang details like that? Some people could see right through this, but a jury, you never know what they're thinking. They could be like, oh man, this guy, wow, he left out some details.
Department. Mr. Stevens was one of those people?
Yes.
The same one that threw the gun?
It's the same.
Was that the same person that threw the gun?
Yes.
So he's saying that dude was certainly the guy that threw the gun.
Doug just made a face. Y'all saw that? He went...
Did he have a hairstyle?
To my recollection, he did.
Was he wearing clothing?
He was.
Was the fact that you didn't put it in your report indicative of the idea that it didn't exist?
Yes, it is. I stay in the question.
Does the absence of those facts in your report equate with the absence of or the existence of those facts?
It does not.
So she's pointing out that since he didn't.
Now, I don't know who lawyer that is. That might be that woman that I was talking about. Now, she kind of flaming his ass. She found a little, that was a little loose meat right there.
Describe his hair or clothing in the report. Doesn't mean he had to have described the gang signs. I don't think that's equivalent. I feel like gang signs are way more important in this situation because that was like part of when he showed the gun and pointed the gun at them or whatever.
But shit, anybody's gonna describe the suspect though. What kind of clothes they got on, the hair they had,
Is there any particular reason you didn't put what Mr. Stevens, who's flashing gun at you, was wearing in your report? Any particular reason?
I did not.
Thug is actually like reacting. I think he's like really present and paying attention, surprisingly, because I thought he was tired earlier.
Write a description of his clothing because he was captured so quickly afterwards.
Anything further, Mr. Adams?
Just a little bit.
He got up quick. Mr. Adams coming for blood right here.
Yes, sir.
Yes. You when you conduct an investigation, affects people's lives, right?
Yes.
You arrest people and take their freedom and take them into custody, true?
Yes.
And you are charged with writing reports that reflect the truth so that someone down the road, maybe a prosecutor, can rely on that information and know if to or how to prosecute something, right?
Yes.
That is extremely important. Would you agree with me?
Yes.
All right. And so when you write your report, and when you were writing reports back in 2013, those things were just as important then as they are today in this courtroom, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so you weren't a rookie officer back in 2013. You had been on the force for 7 years?
Yes.
Okay. And so,
oh shit now. Uh-oh. We get to see the best of the best, y'all. This is the best of the best, man. Salute to this brother. Only in Atlanta you'll see lawyers like this reach that highest peak, because they say Young Thug has the top lawyers, but boy, they about to chew this man a new one. We still in the first week of the trial, so we ain't gonna get too excited, but we gonna see some top of the line arguments in this trial.
Before coming in here to testify, whether it's today, did you have an opportunity to sit down with the prosecutors and talk to them about your testimony and your recollection of the events of 2013? Did you do that?
Yes.
Okay, right. And you still came in here today, and you came in here today, rather, and this is the first time, right, that you're mentioning anything about gang signs that you saw when you were brought in here to testify in this, quote, gang case, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, just out of curiosity, what was the gang sign?
Hold on, what's the basis for your objection?
What's
the basis of your objection?
Yeah, what's the basis of your objection? This man just made a violent point. Why the fuck you ain't saying nothing about them gang signs? Why you ain't been saying nothing about them gang signs? Now all of a sudden you got objections about the gang. I mean, now all of a sudden you remember the gang sign. Objection, make this nigga stop talking. No.
What was the gang sign?
Hold on, what's the basis for your objection?
What's
the basis of your objection?
For first time.
I'm gonna overrule the objection.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr.
She don't even know what the fuck she objects. Nigga, shut up. Shut up, nigga. Oh, man.
What a terrible objection. She couldn't even fucking...
No idea.
None.
Okay. You know the gang sign, right?
Yes.
Okay. You said that you will, quote, your words now, mentally incorporating the gang sign in describing the person as being the most aggressive. Is that what you said?
I did.
Mentally incorporating it. But you don't know what gang sign we're talking about?
No, sir.
All right. That's all.
Can we excuse...
So if you don't know what gang sign it is because you ain't that skilled to know what a gang sign is or what the gang sign stand for, how can you say he was representing YSL? Now, that's an argument. Now, I'm not saying he didn't do what they're saying he did, but you can't say he did it for a certain gang. He could have been doing that for the Crip gang. He could have been doing that for the Latin Kings. He could have been throwing up any kind of gang sign. You can't positively say this is one of the YSL gang members, but maybe we'll see something different in the future.
Yes.
When?
A couple times this week. Today.
In a formal setting?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, actually, let me.
So they asking his ass like, nigga, didn't we motherfucker go over this shit? Yeah. She asking it. She put him on blast. She said, did you have an opportunity to get briefed on this? You know what I'm saying? Because that's the prosecution. She checking that nigga in broad daylight. Nigga, didn't we talk about this shit? Dumbass nigga. God damn, you just fucked up.
Can we excuse... Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Matthews.
Any other time you had an opportunity to talk about what Mr. Stevens did?
Yes.
When?
A couple times this week.
Today?
In a formal setting?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Well, actually, let me. I don't know what the adjudication process was with this case. I don't know if I testified at grand jury, so I can't say with certitude that I've never spoken formally about this because I don't remember.
And when you were asked what was the gang sign by Mr. Adams, and you said no idea?
Yes, I said that.
If you're saying no idea to what was the gang sign, how are you able to testify to the jury that it was in fact a gang sign?
By the forming of the hands, by the overall gesticulation, I think that you don't need to be a police officer, be educated in what sign means what gang, and any of the gang rule hand.
You do need to have some kind of education on what sign and what gang. Now you might can understand that somebody's throwing up gang sign, but you could also see somebody that's doing sign language and think that they're throwing up gang signs. Cause I mean, what is gang signs? Pretty much sign language, right? I'm just saying. Sign language is gang signs, correct? So if you don't know any better and the deaf person is sitting there and they doing their thing, you might think that they're a gang member.
Handbook or any of those things to understand what a gang sign looks like when it's being postured towards you, especially considering the totality of the circumstances that I was in the moment.
Were the signs that were being made by the individuals that came out of Department 7 similar in nature?
I can't answer that either. I wasn't well educated then on what the gang.
Hold up. You can't go to talking about you ain't educated about it and all that shit now, cause nigga, you was just a gang expert 5 minutes ago. This nigga was just a gang expert about 5-10 minutes ago. Now all of a sudden you ain't really sure what gang signs and what you wasn't educated on that. Nah, bro, you can't do all that shit. You're fucking up, partner.
What sign relates to each gang, and I'm not today either.
This is not good for the state because he's admitting at the time he had like no gang experience. Like, yeah, you can tell it's a gang sign. The gang charge for YSL is an
store. It's a convenience store. It's green, and that is where federal.
It's a gang charge for YSL as an enterprise.
I was in narcotics. I was assigned as a task force officer to a federal task force for several years as the green store. It's a convenience store. It's green, and that is where it was notorious for illicit activity, primarily narcotic sales. And that area at the time was primarily 30 deep, and then there was some talks of.
So he's pretty much telling that there's a store that everybody sell their little weed and coke and crack at, and he pretty much was the vice, or what you want to call the undercover police, that pretty much monitor the activity that goes on in that neighborhood. The people, the group that kind of had control of that neighborhood was called 30 Deep. And allegedly, YSL or the Rock Boys had an alliance with these 30 Deep dudes.
Were you all able to locate Shannon Stillwell at that location?
Yes, we were.
This is about Shannon Stillwell selling.
So that's where they picked this dude up right here, the Shannon Stillwell. He's one of the dudes that's accused of shooting the guy Nut in that drive-by shooting. But he's one of the ones that decided to take this shit to trial, unlike the other two dudes that one decided to take the 15-year, one-year deal to get out. And the other guy, YSL Woody, he's the one that just snitching on everybody. And he's trying to stay out, but he keep getting locked up. So they're trying to shift the attention to pretty much what he had going on back then. And that's selling weed at this place called the Green Store.
Weed 10 years ago right now, and he pled guilty to it too. So that's all this is about. Him selling weed at the store 10 years ago. They're saying this all furthers the conspiracy of the gang, so every little overt act is going to be talked about. Shan Stillwell right here.
Property that was recovered from Mr. Stillwell was a white Samsung Galaxy S3 phone with battery. That was turned in as evidence. A $1 bill, 50 individually packaged red plastic baggies containing marijuana. That was.
Hold up, man. This nigga had $1 on him? Yo. What they recovered off this man, pay attention. I listen good. I might don't talk that good, but I listen good. This nigga had 50 motherfucking dime bags of goddamn weed on him. Red package weed. He had $1 on him and a motherfucking cell phone. But that's a real trap nigga. I ain't gonna lie, boy. I done been there before. Hey, you done spent all your money on your re-up. But this proves that what he was doing, it wasn't for the furtherance of the game. That man was just trying to get it how he lived. That man was just trying to make $500, my nigga. This man just spent his goddamn last $250 or $200 on him a little goddamn quarter pound. He might have done bought him 3 zips, maybe 2 zips of some loud. You know what I'm saying? That nigga done went and bagged up all that shit. Had $1 to his name, my nigga. He was about to go buy a cigar, and he was just waiting on another play, my nigga, so he could get him something to eat. And then go ahead and, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and boom out. It probably was a Friday night. That man was planning on selling all his sacks, my nigga. They fucked up this man whole day. Yeah, my nigga, that nigga just read up, man. They fucked up my dog. They fucked my dog whole day up with that shit. That man only had $1 in his pocket when y'all pulled up on that man.
Dang, so every little overt act is going to be talked about. Shan Stillwell right here.
Property that was recovered from Mr. Stillwell was a white Samsung Galaxy S3 phone with battery. That was turned in as evidence. A $1 bill, 50 individually packaged red plastic baggies containing marijuana. That was turned in as evidence. 1 clear plastic baggie containing marijuana was turned in as
Another thing, man. Why this nigga had all those bags on him, my nigga? You ain't gonna... Bruh, this nigga had 50 motherfucking packs on him, bruh. You ain't gonna sell 50 packs at one time? Why not have, like, you know what I'm saying, 4 or 5 on you, 3 on you? You know what I'm saying? Bring your scale out that bitch with your pack. But I mean, this 2013, my nigga. Bring your scale in your pack. Don't even have that shit in baggies. When a nigga pull up, they want a ground, you put that nigga shit on the scale. You go behind the stove, go in the stove, go in the bathroom, whatever you gotta do. Shit. That way, goddamn, they can't charge you with intent to distribute. This nigga got 50 packs on him. Where the fuck was you hiding that shit at?
with battery. That was turned in as evidence. A $1 bill, 50 individually packaged red plastic baggies containing marijuana. That was turned in as evidence. 1 clear plastic baggie.
Then he had an extra plastic baggie. That was supposed to be his where he was gonna smoke. God damn, nigga pull up with 50 motherfucking packs on him. You supposed to go to fucking jail. I ain't gonna lie, I done some dumb shit like that too, man. He was a rookie. I did that dumb ass shit when I was about 13, 14 though. When you get in your 20s and shit, you supposed to know better. Everybody was still running the cars at the green store. We had a place like that in Bronzeville, my nigga, called In and Out. That's where I got my feet wet at. Shit, nigga, right after school. Nigga, I was 8th grade, nigga. I'd go there after football practice and shit. You know what I'm saying? Go make me a little $40, $50. Nigga, we used to run in them cars. Now, you know, I graduated a little bit, boy, and I started really being the man up there and shit. I know what that green store had to be like. They called us track stars because we ran to them cars. Hey, boy, I got them facts that, man, that shit, that bullshit, my nigga. This that good shit. This that fire shit, man. That shit, that nigga, man, that's bullshit, bro. Nigga had them big 15 by 15. Or if a nigga wanted to really bust heads, nigga come with those 20 by 20 sacks. Hey, y'all trap niggas know what I'm talking about, my nigga. It's about the delusion, man. You put them bitches in a big old bag, you can still put the same gram in a bigger bag. And when a nigga see that shit in that big bag, they go like, oh shit, yeah, I'm buying that nigga shit. Yeah, we remember.
Containing marijuana was turned as evidence.
Cross, Mr. Sharp. Who he winking at, bro? So it was probably another lawyer or someone. I don't know who he's winking at. This is Shannon right here. This is all about a weed charge right here.
Never asked for surveillance?
I don't remember what my interactions were 10 years ago, as much as I wish I could.
Okay, was it?
Recordings just got better.
event? In the big scheme of things at the time, no, not particularly.
Shit, when I was legit, boy, it was competitive, man, because, you know, around 13, 14, you know, we was little niggas. Hell yeah, we had to run in no cars, my nigga, because that's who was going to make that money. Shit. Because we had a little spot, nigga, they just pulled up, and whoever got to them the fastest, that's who they were going to spend their money with.
Is it fair to say that you have a very limited recollection of this incident from August 23rd, 2013? It's been 10 years, yes, fair to say. You met with the state about this event to prepare your testimony? Briefly.
This is so stupid, dude. He's trying to grill this guy to see if he messed up anything in this investigation, but it's about a weed charge, dude. It's just not.
Which is an act of racketeering activity under 1614.35a and an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. So there is no limiting instruction as to the conviction.
The rest of the lawyers are trying.
So she's just trying to make it a point. Hey, look at all these people that has charges that were close to Young Thug, but you're not proving that they did this shit in furtherance of the gang. You're just talking, woman. The jury is taking note of this, but there's only 1 out of 700 fucking witnesses, though.
Trying to get this evidence not to be used against all the other co-defendants and only Shannon Stillwell because he pled guilty to it 10 years ago. But she's saying there's no limiting instruction to that, so that's what she's arguing right now.
Testimonial evidence. Jefferson drives one that's a COVID-19 case as well as a gang case conspiracy, and the fact that some co-conspirator, alleged co-conspirator in that indictment, was found guilty or pled guilty is testimonial evidence and cannot be used against the other people who objected to it. What the state is saying is throw away the constitutional right to confrontation, the statutory rights. If this was a brute, and I'm just making an analogy, Your Honor, if this was a statement by Mr. Stillwell to the officer and he implicated somebody else here, that would have to go in the brute.
Mr. Steele, we're going to have to just fundamentally disagree on how you read State versus Jefferson. I've taken a look at Jefferson. That is not what Jefferson says. I respectfully to you, but I don't think that Justice Melton, who wrote the opinion at that point in time, in any way saying anything you're saying about that issue in regards to that, because this case covers a business record. They're not trying to get it in under a business record. They're saying that this particular account goes to X and furtherance of the conspiracy, specifically the one that occurred on or about the.
Please just read the case.
Yeah, I've read it.
That is not what it's saying.
The Thug's lawyer and the judge disagreeing right now. Someone just put in the chat, all this for a plant. He was selling weed. There's a little rod right there.
Distinguishable, and we would ask that the court deny it.
This is probably so confusing for the jury. This is probably.
Hell yeah, because it's getting confusing right now. And think about it. This is just the first damn week. This is just the first week. Think about how confused the jury got to be at this point. Because now they want to talk about this man get arrested about some weed 10 years ago to make that an overt act into this gang conspiracy. Now, it might come in handy a little later. They might have some kind of connection that they got coming up, but they better. Other words, you know, this is going to go through one ear and out the other, but it's going to be one example of how you're trying to just say, hey, you got a gang of people, but you just talking about a nigga that had $1 in his pocket and 50 damn packs of weed. What the fuck Young Thug going to do with $500? You telling me this nigga was selling weed to push forward the game? Or are you talking about that cell phone that you found on him? Now that could be important. Because remember, they say they found his cell phone was seized. So it might not be about the fact that, you know, he was selling weed. They're probably just letting you know when they got a hold of this nigga's phone. And then they can leak whatever he had going on with Thug. So maybe that's where they're getting at with this. Other than that, I don't know why they would be talking about a nigga getting arrested 10 years ago and saying it's an overt act and something to do with this RICO trial.
It may not be admissible, just like evidence, as you know, Mr. Steele, haven't done this a while. Evidence may be admissible for one reason and inadmissible for others, but in a conspiracy allegation, this is what the state's trying to admit.
Conspiracy doesn't do away with statutes or constitutional rights.
But you're doing it under 1615.9. 1615.3. So that's a little different than what I'm being asked to resolve in this particular issue.
This is some nerdy statutes about whether it's constitutional or not, pretty much right now. It's going to be overruled. This judge is not going to let that.
Was Mr. Stillwell indicted for these charges from August 23rd, 2013? Counsel, I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea what I'm looking at right now.
This arresting officer is not going to know anything about these papers, bro. This is like court shit. I just had his firearm back in 2013.
I called the police, called 911. The police department showed up. They cleared the house. Then I went in and began to notice that some items were missing. It was a 6 hour.
And what kind of laptop?
Okay, so we're done with that guy. They're switching over to the next guy. So the next guy that we're about to hear is a guy that had his house broken in and he had his gun stolen. So pretty much he's going to have a real quick testimony. We ain't going to hear too much from him. But this guy, the guy that got his gun stolen, the gun that they found under the seat when they pulled Young Thug over, that's going to pop up to be his gun. So that's why they're bringing him up here to pretty much tell when he reported his gun stolen, you know, and that's going to be the relevance of it. But we'll skip through it pretty fast.
Open or ajar. I called the police, called 911. The police department showed up. They cleared the house. Then I went in and began to notice that some items were missing. It was a 6 hour.
And what kind of laptop is missing?
An Apple.
And do you recall what your firearm looked like?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you recognize your firearm if you saw it?
Yes, ma'am.
With the serial number listed, refresh your memory as to the serial number for your firearm.
To answer your question, I don't know if it would. Without seeing the purchase document from when I bought it, I couldn't confirm the serial number.
Okay.
His lawyer was like, yep, see? He wasn't going to know how to answer that.
The door did not appear to be damaged. It wasn't kicked in or anything like that. It was just ajar.
Correct.
This is a standalone house.
Correct.
In a neighborhood.
Correct. Yes, sir. I feel like some things had taken place.
Whoever gets lucky.
Man, shit, a good lawyer make you feel like you tried to get your own house broken into. That you was just reckless with your house. Them motherfuckers make you feel bad about getting robbed.
You tell us is that you come home and 2 guns, a laptop, and a blanket are missing from the house.
That sounds accurate.
Or if you recall, but he stopped Mr. Williams on September 9th of 2013 in a traffic stop. Mr. Williams did not have the driver's license. He stated that he...
So now he's talking about that officer that I made a video about that potentially lied on his police report about the pills being found in the cup holder in plain view. And then they found the gun in the passenger seat under the seat that Thug was driving, but it wasn't his car and it wasn't stolen, like it was a friend's car or something. So it is possible that Thug didn't know any of this was in the car, but this is what this is about right here.
The self-serving statement that the firearm belonged to a friend. If the state seeks to get that in, the state can do so because it is a statement of a party opponent, but it is not.
She doesn't want them to get the point across that it could belong to a friend of Thug. This prosecutor, she is a tricky one.
I observed that he made a proper left turn because he wasn't in the turn lane to make a left turn, and our signs indicated that have lane assignments. I then went to go pull the vehicle over, and he continued southbound on Techwood Drive, approaching 10th Street. As you approach that intersection, there's a right turn lane only, and that is clearly labeled with a sign saying right lane must turn right. I approached the vehicle, the driver rolled down the window. I explained to him why I pulled him over and asked him for his driver's license. He said he didn't have a driver's license on him, but he gave me his name and his birthday.
And what name and what birthday did he give?
Jeffrey Williams. He was a black male, thin built, tall, and he had some long braids.
At least he didn't lie about his name.
Asked him to step out of the car. He did. I placed him in handcuffs and told him he was under arrest for failing to obey traffic control device, for making an improper left turn, for going straight in a right turn lane only.
He gonna take a nigga to jail for not making a right turn and for not having his license on him? And I'm pretty sure this man was in a really nice car, so you knew he was successful. You probably knew exactly who he was, though.
And he had no driver's license on. I observed in the cup holder of the vehicle a clear plastic bag with some blue pills inside of it. I put them in the back of the car, and then I went back to retrieve the pills from the cup holder, and they were suspected Xanax pills. I did a further search of the vehicle, and there was a black Sig Sauer 9mm handgun underneath the front passenger seat, and it was reported stolen out of the city of Atlanta. The serial number is listed as UU748574.
This police officer is breathing like Darth Vader into this fucking mic, dude.
Would you recognize him if you saw him today?
Yes.
All right. Do you see him in the courtroom today?
Yes, I do.
Would you describe what he is wearing and where he is seated for the court?
He is at the second defense table in front of me. He is wearing a black turtleneck, and he's got his hair pulled back in braids.
Would the record reflect that the officers identified the...
So they're just pretty much talking about him pulling over Young Thug and he having that gun under the seat and 2 Xanax pills. How does this further the gang? I have no idea.
That's true.
But your memory got aided with your report that you wrote. Is that okay to say that?
Yeah.
So,
there's a lot I have to follow with this case. If I forget something.
Okay, so here's the cross-examined by Young Thug's lawyer. We're almost done, y'all. We're almost done. We got like 8 minutes left. So that's going to equal to about maybe 20 minutes. We're only at 9 o'clock. I done gave y'all 2 great lives. I don't know how long we got. 2 hours on here. So, okay. We've been doing good this weekend, y'all. So, there's plenty of content out here to check out. Y'all make sure to hit the like button on y'all way in or on your way out.
Dude, I have to get refreshed a lot, but this got dismissed. All right, now Brian Steele's about to go up.
You don't remember this traffic stop on your own memory. Is that true?
I would say yes, that is true.
But your memory got aided with your report that you wrote. Is that okay to say that?
Yes.
Okay. And you're doing your best you can today to articulate accurate facts to the jury.
Yes.
And that burglary, from what you read, is 2 months before you run into Jeffrey Williams on September 9, 2013. Is that right?
That is correct.
Now, that's a great point. The burglary that you're talking about was 2 months before you ran into this guy.
And when I say 2 months before, I may not be to the date, but approximately July 10th of 2013 is about 2 months before September 9, 2013. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say.
And you're not telling this jury in any way that you have any scintilla of evidence that Mr. Williams was involved in that burglary. Is that fair to say?
Form.
I'll stand as the form. You can rephrase.
Is it true that you do not have any information Mr. Williams was involved in any burglary of the Phillips home?
Objection.
Is that true?
That's a form.
I'll let him answer that. I'll overrule that objection. You can answer that.
Say the question one more.
They don't want to get that question out. Can you say in any kind of way that you know that this gun has anything, that burglary has anything to do with Young Thug? No, you can't say it has anything to do with him. So why the fuck you up here talking about it?
We're not sure. You don't have any information at all that Mr. Williams is involved in the burglary of Mr. Phillips or Miss Phillips' home. Is that true?
That is true.
Okay. So now we're 2 months later. It's approximately 8, I think you said 8, hold on one second. 8:30 in the morning, is that fair to say? Okay, that's not the Cleveland Avenue. Do you know where Cleveland Avenue area is?
I do know where Cleveland Avenue area is, yes.
And Midtown is not near, near is relative, but it's not the Cleveland Avenue area. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say.
Okay. He didn't flee from you or anything. You blue lighted him, you pulled over, and you approached the car.
That's true.
Okay. And Mr. Williams was totally professional and cooperative with you. Is that fair to say?
He was cooperative.
And he gave his name, date of birth, told you he doesn't have a driver's license, right?
Yes.
And you confirm that?
Yes.
And then you felt duty bound to arrest him because he's driving without a driver's license. Is that fair to say?
Yes, that's fair to say.
Okay. And again, he's cooperative with you.
Objection. Asked and answered.
I'll stand the question.
At this point, he's cooperative with you.
Objection. Asked and answered.
Feel music.
Well, damn. I guess the man can't answer that. Act shit now.
From running a computer check, it comes up stolen from the serial number. Is that how it works?
Yes.
Okay. And you found the item, though, underneath the passenger seat on the floorboard. Is that right?
I need to teach you about handling weapons. Please point the muzzle always downward, no matter if it's unloaded, okay?
I know it's unloaded, but yes,
You
sir.
make everybody nervous, okay?
Huey is laughing in the background. Wait, hold on. Did he point it over at Huey?
Include Mr. Kern, so you can point it at.
All right. I apologize.
This motherfucker up here, he ain't handled a gun a day in his life. He pulled the gun up and he pointed that bitch at everybody.
Works? Yes. Okay. And you found the item, though, underneath the passenger seat on the floorboard. Is that right?
I need to teach you about handling weapons. Please point the muzzle always downward, no matter if it's unloaded, okay?
I know it's unloaded, but yes, sir.
You make everybody nervous, okay?
Huey is laughing in the background. Wait, hold on. Did he point it over at Huey?
Include Mr. Kern, so you can point it at.
All right. I apologize, Mr. How long was that gun underneath that passenger seat floorboard?
Objection. Speculation. No foundation.
I stand the
So
question.
you know how long that gun was under the passenger seat floorboard?
I've got no idea how long it was underneath there.
And that tell the ladies and gentlemen jury if Mr. Williams owned that car.
Objection. Speculation.
Why don't you rephrase it? I'll sustain it as a form. You can rephrase it.
Car, right?
Objection as to foundation.
Ask me a question.
There's no foundation.
I sustain the question.
No foundation. The foundation is that's that man's car. It makes sense if it's a car and it's a gun in his car, you might can say that. But he's in somebody else's car and the gun doesn't have his fingerprints on it. I mean, come on. Why not let the jury hear that? But of course, the prosecution doesn't want the jury to hear no shit like that.
So, Mr. Steele, why don't you just ask him if he knows who owned the vehicle?
The owner of the car was.
And I object again on the basis of foundation because stating it doesn't cure.
Let me help y'all out. Officer Manheim, do you know who owned the vehicle that Mr. Williams was driving in?
Yes, I got that information from when I ran the vehicle tag information.
And Your Honor, the reason that I have the objection is that though he may have run it and knows that his tag came up, he does not know who owned the vehicle. There's been no testimony about personal knowledge of who actually owned the vehicle.
He asked that question, so that question is relevant to his inquiry.
Yeah, he shut down the prosecutor right there because he's trying to get the point across that it wasn't Thug's car, which then puts the possibility that it wasn't his gun either in the passenger side.
Stolen, right?
The vehicle's not stolen.
Are there any fingerprints of Mr. Williams on that firearm?
On 12B? On the firearm itself?
Yes, sir.
No, there was no firearms. I mean, there's no fingerprints left from the firearm.
And you have no evidence whatsoever that Mr. Williams ever touched that firearm. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say.
And you have no evidence that Mr. Williams even knew that that firearm was in that car. Is that fair to say?
No objection, Your Honor. That would call for...
It's speculation. I'll sustain the questions if you want.
I'm moving on to the 7 pills. They're Xanax. Is that fair to say? Or they look like Xanax?
Yes.
But not in a container. Is that right?
That is correct.
And when I say container, that's a bad word. Not in a prescription pill bottle like they're supposed to be. Is that true?
That is true.
Okay. And you found them, you said, in the cup holder, right?
Yes.
Do you remember writing a draft report in this case before the final report?
Yes, I do.
And do you remember in the draft report saying that the blue pills were in the center console area? Do you remember that?
That is true.
Nothing about plain view or in the cup holder in the draft report?
There are cup holders in the center console.
Okay, but you didn't...
See, being the fact that the man found pills right there, a good lawyer gonna challenge where you found the pills at. Nigga, is you lying? You say you found it in the cup holder. But did you find it in the center console or did you find it in the cup holder? Because those are two different things, motherfucker. You lying. That's how they get you, y'all. That's how they get you. But you got to speak in perfect parentheses. You can't mix up no words at all. Gotcha, nigga. You lying. You said cup holder. You said armrest. Why you lying? You said armrest last time.
say that in the draft report.
No, I did not say that.
Okay. I asked and you tried the ability to record, and you did record this event incident with Mr. Williams. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say.
And this is on, when I say recording, we're talking about video as well as audio recording, right?
That is correct.
And I asked to bring to court.
Yeah, I remember this footage suddenly disappeared on his body cam. So they only had the video of the car he was facing, Thug's car, like this. But his body cam like disappeared, I'm pretty sure. Because Elena got hacked at the same time.
And you tried to find it, right?
Yes.
And other people tried to find it. If you don't know, that's fine.
I don't know how hard they tried, but other people did look for it, yes.
And it came back that there...
Oh, man. So Atlanta got hacked. Gotcha, Wabbit. So all of this shit that you claiming this man did, it all of a sudden disappeared. Sorry about your look.
There is no audio or video that I could show to the jury, right?
That is true. It is lost.
By the City of Atlanta Police Department or the DA's office or somebody there, right?
Your Honor, I object to that latter part.
I'll sustain this to the...
It's lost by the authority.
Latter portion.
Is that true?
Yes.
You know Mr. Williams to be a well-known musical artist, is that fair?
At the time of the traffic stop, no, I did not.
No, I'm saying you know that now.
Oh, yes, I do.
As to relevance.
I sustain the question.
My OBS just crashed. Holy shit, I thought I lost 2 hours of footage, but
Court,
I sustain the objection, Mr. Steele.
I have a certified copy of this decision.
It's still not in the correct format. I'm still going to sustain the objection.
I will show you where I'll mark as Mr. Williams number 1.
Your Honor, I object.
It's a certified copy.
Mr. Steele?
Yes, sir.
Please stop that, okay? It's not, I'm going to sustain the objection.
I think he was trying to get the point across that this case was dismissed, but they wouldn't let him for some reason.
Are you stating to the jury that you have personal knowledge about who actually owned that car?
No, I do not.
Okay, then what is it that you're actually testifying about?
Is the person whose name was on the legal documents that purchased the vehicle.
Yes or no, did Mr. Williams indicate that he knew the gun was in the car without saying what was said?
No.
Are you certain?
What's the basis for the objection?
You heard what the man said. Don't be talking about, are you certain? The man said, did he indicate that he knew the gun was in the car? And you said no, he did not know that the gun was in the car. He didn't indicate it anyway. Now you want this man to change his damn answer? Are you certain?
I just asked, was he certain?
I'll sustain this. I'll sustain it.
She be trying to get the answers out that she wants, but that is not proper at all.
Amongst each other, or having other people, in particular third parties, reach out to you and potentially start to talk with you about that. Remember, especially that is not an acceptable situation for you to be involved in. And remember, if anybody tries to talk with you about it, it's friends, family, to either via email. I know you're not on social media, and I know anybody trying.
I don't think they know yet either, which is annoying with the jurors leaked yesterday or whatever. So let's see what the prosecutor says about this.
The state has been made aware that this particular post has been shared a number of times, and it is of concern for the state, for the integrity of this case, that
I understand all that.
So again, they're talking about the juror that kind of got photo bombed. So, of course they're going to call for a mistrial for that. But, this judge is trying to keep this thing going.
That's in your pleas, but there's a trade-off to that. If you then kind of make it an issue, then I think that you draw attention that may not necessarily need to. If somebody reacts because of that attention, then I'll go ahead and deal with it.
Oh, so he's saying since they weren't contacted yet, or, you know, if someone alerts the jury that their faces were leaked, then that's when it becomes an issue. But now it's not an issue yet. This is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, because you're telling me something got to happen to one of the jury members for you to take action when you have the right to, you know, maybe just remove one of those jury members. I mean, you got 7 other jury members, but you might have to remove about 3 or 4 of them, so it would be very risky. And then you would have to repeat. Well, no, you wouldn't, because they're in the audience too. So
Possible that any of these jurors could have had contact from family members who saw that post, from anyone who may have texted them, inadvertently texted them about this image, and that may impair on their ability to be fair.
I'm just not going to weird them out, and that's the last I'll say about it.
Now, the one thing Thug is going to have is a fire-ass appeal case. So whatever, if he does not beat this case, he's going to beat this shit on appeal for sure.
Point time, okay?
Thank you.
He's not going to wear him out. Apparently this is normal too, by the way. Like, judges don't want to freak out the jury. I'd say a majority of people would be uncomfortable with it. Shout out Megan Cuniff for these tweets right here. She's fire on Twitter, so go follow Charge. What you guys think? If you're new to my channel, subscribe from Twitter and Instagram. Love you guys. Peace out.
All right, y'all. So we're caught up all the way to day 4. Only other thing that I'll say that happened on day 4 that we didn't go over is they were discussing a situation where a dude, you know, was coming out and he pointed the gun at the dude. Matter of fact, we did go over that part where he's saying that the guy came out and he pointed a gun at him. They found the gun under a bucket and all that stuff like that. So we pretty much see so far where they going at with this situation. So we're going to be on day 5 tomorrow. I'm going to be listening in while I'm working, so I'll pretty much see what the important parts are. I'm going to set a live for about 7:30. That way y'all can pull up. I'll set it early so y'all know where to pull up to. And we'll keep our eye on this situation. If not this story, we're going to start on the P. Diddy situation also. So y'all make sure to show up. Now, if y'all don't remember, man, I'm asking for all donations and asking very nicely or whatever to help me out with a product I'm trying to purchase to improve the channel. So all donations are appreciated. Cash App, PayPal, Super Chat. Help a brother out to purchase this new donation of this screen deck. All donations are appreciated. Not mandatory, but appreciated. And the least you can, the least that anybody can do to help out my channel is make sure you hit the like button or hit the share button. But we're going to get out of here for the night, man. We here at 9 o'clock. I think we did a good job. We did, 3 lives already? So, I think we did a good job today. About 6 hours of live streaming. I hope everybody enjoyed themselves. Make sure you pull up tomorrow and any other day. Set your notifications if you haven't been getting them. I'm going to do a better job at setting these lives a little bit early. So, y'all go enjoy the YouTube streets. I'm glad to be able to be at y'all's service of content. Y'all could have been anywhere on YouTube right now, and y'all here kicking it with me, and I appreciate y'all.
I heard them talking out the side of they must do them, I done got them. Think I won't pop it in front of them boppers. Make a nigga dance like chopper style. Knock a nigga out his boxes. Nigga, how I really be doing this shit. I don't think y'all niggas.
Let me do some shout outs. Shout outs. Salute to the homie Crucial K. Salute the Love Lace. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let me turn this down a little bit, throw some shout outs out here. Salute Love Lace. Salute El Humbro Negro. Miss Moan and Mo. Salute Chocolate Candy Lady. Salute Steady Grinding. Salute Perpetual Learner. Salute Carl Belton, David Johnson. Jimmy McFly, salute. I appreciate the beats, homie. Salute 40 the splatter. Salute to my homie 421 TV, Musso Bronze. Salute, 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 salute. Amelia Dixon. Who else we had? A Donkey Green, salute. Sizzle, salute. Mika, salute to you, salute, salute. Power is knowledge, salute. Y'all go sub up the knowledge power. Salute the who else we got in here? Tina Brown. I appreciate all the cash apps, all the super chats. Y'all are the real goats, man. Salute the Mom Boss. Y'all make sure y'all go sub up the Mom Boss also. I appreciate all of y'all, man. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. It said can't hear the music.